Welcome back, everybody. So, we'll jump straight into a recap from last time because we have lots to be getting on with. So, last time the party arrived on Mount Arnan, the mysterious destination of Lady Riverwall. You were on some sort of escorting quest with Captain Sarcher and the Falling Star, and you embarked with a choice. Whether you were going to go, let's feel like it would have been south. Yeah, no, I've written it down. Why am I even going there? South up the mountain face to try and look for some sort of cave or chasm or somewhere to set up camp. You could go east towards a seemingly abandoned set of wooden structures, or you could go west towards a set of boulders that seemingly were dropped down from the mountain itself in some sort of landslide.
Why did you look at me?
Why not both?
Theren in blue! It's funny you should say that.
This is a horror film, right?
Made your way to the abandoned wooden structures, who soon made the discovery that someone or something may have been rifling through the structures, tearing them to the ground in search of something. A loud discussion from the party woke one of these creatures, standing 10 feet tall. Flabby, horrific, smelly, sweaty. A giant covered in arrows and other discarded pieces of ranged equipment emerged.
Did you say equipment?
Equipment, yes.
It's the order's equipment.
Yes.
One thing I learned: never correct the DM when he's mispronouncing.
Never correct somebody famed for not being able to pronounce his words properly.
Very good, very good.
Thank you. Right. They emerged through a makeshift... I'm really self-conscious now.
Blah, blah, blah.
Through a makeshift hole in one of the wooden structures. A limb, a bloody limb at that, hanging from one of his fat hands. A very flabby, sweaty and painful fight commenced, in which, after a couple of points where you fell down and then you got back up again...
Never going to keep us down.
Thank you. You eventually emerged victorious. You proceeded to search through the structures, and you did find various pieces of information about the Order, who seemed to have inhabited these buildings before you arrived. You found out various facts about their mission to find and destroy pre-calamity artifacts. You heard tales of monsters repeatedly attacking that they had to keep at bay through any mechanism that they could. And you found out about their leader, High Inquisitor Augustus, a name that rang a bell with Theren.
Also the name of David's father.
Exactly. Who seemed like a bit of the... I wish I hadn't said that, because I was going to finish that sentence with who seemed like a bit of the douche, but now I feel like I'm targeted, but I'm not. It's fine.
You could call him Gussie.
Gussie.
We will not call the High
The
Inquisitor.
characters in this
Gussie.
show are fictionalised, not based on any true representation.
Thank you.
Hi, Dad.
No animals were harmed in the making of this.
Exactly.
Okay.
Aubrey
Except this one.
travelled west.
I did.
Go west,
Go west.
Aubrey. Still invisible from the bardic instrument, you transversed over the boulder field.
I did.
From your high vantage point, you noticed a small gathering of large creatures. I guess
did.
is how you describe it.
Yes.
Large, disgusting, flabby creatures that, in hindsight, now ring a bell with the creature that these two fought. But it's good. Now you know that there were 5 of them, especially as your invisibility dropped. One of them saw you and proceeded possibly the slowest chase across the mountain
It
ever.
really reminded me of any of the Terminator films.
Yeah.
Like,
Always
somewhere.
coming for you.
Yeah, or like It Follows.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know
yeah.
it's coming
It
for you.
knows it doesn't need to. I mean, just look at it. Just look at that glorious picture. Go and put that next to the camera. They need to see. They need to see that in all its glory.
I'd
Look
love to
at
do a comparison
that.
with David.
No, you do.
There you go.
Jesus, I've not gained that much weight.
Fantastic. And there's just a description here that says, its first description, massive. A flab giant can't dash. There you go. So it cannot move quickly. It
Oh,
was
that's good
speed
to
of
know.
20 feet. Yeah, exactly. It was pretty slow. He followed you all the way back to the rest of the party, who, after a quick
Quick
sit
thing,
rep,
lads.
Quickly.
the 3 of you made your way up the mountain, with it in tow, as you looked for some sort of either high or safe ground in which to take a vantage point. And actually, through a combination of climbing the mountain very well, through a short rest and an ingenious set of spell choices that worked very well. The second fight was taken down extremely efficiently, and in fact probably could have been more efficient had you not run out the bubble. But hey, it's all fine. It's
who
all fine.
killed the giant?
You almost got 100% 5-star no damage run. That's all I'm saying.
S grade.
Exactly, S grade. You'll have to deal with that B+, you know? That's fine.
B+.
It's better than the D- these guys got afterwards.
Oh,
Scraped through. Yeah, exactly.
We have to do that for all our encounters.
Yeah, it's true. We did
We're
almost
averaging at a
die.
C-.
After taking a short rest to gather your breath, sheltered within another one of Blue's safety bubbles, patent pending, the party decided what to do next. The task of finding somewhere to set up camp on the island is still in your minds, as well as the seeming disappearance of Carmian and Lady Riverwall.
Yeah, what's that about?
So,
We'll find out.
Theren,
Yeah.
you find yourself elevated, at first helplessly and then with a sense of unerringly comforting control, being pushed into the air for the first time in flight. What would the three of you like to do?
You've just zipped off, haven't you?
I thought you zipped off.
Yeah, it ended with Theren going, so all I need to do is think about where I'm going and I'll go there.
Yeah.
Alright, so if I just think and then he's...
The one thing is that, can I just make sure that we did all untie ourselves? Because we didn't tie ourselves with rope as we climbed up. I assume we did it in the bubble whilst
I
waiting.
assume that
I'm
happened
gonna
during
make
the short
the
rest.
executive decision that we would have known about it had Aubrey burst out of the bubble,
Yeah,
still
that's-
tied to
I
the party.
kind of remembered that just now.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
was just like, wait, what? Wait, hold on.
We can assume that. I think that's fair.
It would just be my face grinding.
No, it's blue, so Theren would just go...
Blue is incapable of actual fall. He, cartoon style, just bounces off objects. Exactly. Whenever Blue
Homer down the canyon.
And we were giving him stats about being fat.
Blue has one round of combat just after he steps off a cliff, where he can look around and go, "Ooh!"
Oh, can we make that a magical
that's
item?
That's next level up.
The amulet to comedic effect. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Puns have to be a thing as well.
Like the
There was a
visibility.
great legendary item somebody made, a homebrew legendary item that was you can cast any spell you know and change one letter, and the spell did what you said it
Ooh, I
did.
like that.
So there were examples like Wireball, where someone casts Fireball, but instead of fire, barbed wire just sprouts and slashes
that's
everything,
cool.
which I thought was
That's
quite
cool.
good. Yeah, exactly. But Theren, you are airborne. What would you like to do?
I'm going to make sure that I'm still alive first.
You seem to be pretty alive. Yeah, after your short rest, you feel energized.
Better.
You didn't really take many scraps after the last fight. You've healed up a bit.
I return the thumbs up to the party. And I am going to go as high as I can and get a bird's eye view of the island and see if there's any signs of another camp.
Okay, how high would you like to go? The mountain stretches. You're about 400 feet above sea level at this point. You've gone quite far up, but the mountain still stands. It's about 2 kilometers, 2.5 kilometers high.
I don't want to go at the top because I'm not going to see much from it. That's a bit high. As much as I would like to go to the peak,
Yeah.
which he will do at one point, I'm just going to go 200 feet up
Yep.
and give it a bit of a circuit.
Okay. Fantastic. Can you make a perception check for me, please?
I'm good for no. It makes
Theren can't even fly fun.
Yeah, I know. Nope.
No.
I like the idea that Theren is sort of like a Superman style flyer, just
Yeah, but not looking down, looking straight ahead.
5.
5. Okay.
It was almost a 19, but it wasn't.
You're enjoying it too
But
much.
it wasn't, and that's what's important. You do find, even with a 5, you get a good layout of the island with the ability to fly and the ability to look down. The island itself is just
You can fly and you can look, so...
the mountain. It is just the mountain. You can see below the boulder fields, you can see roughly where the wooden structures were below the bottom of the mountain where you have started. You do a perimeter. It's difficult to see too much without going too much lower to the ground, and you have a sense that you want to stay not hidden, but you don't want to really get too low, just in case there is anything watching you, and it's always in the back of your mind, hence the low perception score, we'll say that. And the south of the island really is just a continuation of the north side. It's very bay-like, a sloping pebble beach, no structures that you can see. It all appears to be fairly barren. The mountain itself rises high. You probably get about 600, 700 feet above the ground and do yourself a tour. It's the vertigo, it's not quite vertigo, but you do get an uneasy sense of this is high. So you find yourself sticking to the slopes a little bit, and the mountain itself has been chiseled by the wind, and little chasms, boulders and caves have formed in various places. You see a couple of different areas to which you think there could be some sort of, not passage, but certainly a entrance or cave into the side of the mountain in various places, but nothing that really grab your attention. More importantly, you don't see any other sign of life as you travel around the mountain.
Okay. Next thing, I want to look for any place that we can set up camp that's reasonably defensible, good view of everywhere around.
There are a couple of the caves higher up. You think you probably would get a good vantage point as well as being quite high up, so you could see down. The wooden structures, if you could defend them, would be at least contained from things like the wind. Otherwise, the boulder fields that you can see down, you would surmise there could be some sort of gap between some of the bigger rocks that you could potentially squeeze into. You know there's Carmian and Lady Riverwall have the pagoda, the big box structure that would have to go somewhere, so the boulder field may not be a great idea. You could put it just on the beach. You know Blue has his bubble.
Okay, then the last thing I want to do before I return to the party is I want to fly to the peak.
Okay. Perfect. So you just go straight up.
Yeah. Tell
make
me
it?
what happens when I'm there, and I will tell you what I do next.
Okay, so you make your way
Just in
up and up
case.
and up. Once you get to about 1,300, 1,400 meters, feet, sorry, the air begins to get a little colder. You can sense a slight chill, that some of the warmth from the day disappears as you go up. It's not freezing, but it's noticeable. And the cloud starts to cover your vision to an extent. Clouds forming around the top of this mountain. The top, it's not visible. You could still see your way through enough. There are pockets of cloud that you'd have to go through, but it's easy enough to do. You're just going straight up. Keep going?
Yes.
Perfect. Make another perception check for me.
That's an 8.
An 8. Okay, you can continue making your way up. You at times lose the actual mountain itself in the cloud, and you have to backtrack a little bit, go back down until you find the slope, and then stick a little closer as you go up. There is snow. After some time still resting on the top of the mountain, you get a sense that it never really disappears apart from maybe summer. As you go higher and higher and higher and higher, and the peak of the mountain itself springs into view. It is beautiful, and it lies above the clouds, about 200 feet above the clouds. You can see just scattered around you like a white basin, a bowl that stretches from the side of the mountain. Fluffy blue skies, the clouds above you still, but it's beautiful. And then there's movement, you see, just sort of flutters, just out of sight, a reddy, yellow, shiny light. Just.
I want to slowly approach, keep an eye out for the light.
Okay, so you make your way towards the peak. At some point you, I would imagine, would set foot on the peak of the mountain because...
If it looks safe enough.
Yeah, investigation check.
Will it be higher than a 10? No.
No, it's
Why
natural
are
1.
you still using that dice?
Because I don't know.
I have a choice here. Would you like one?
Probability.
You fly to the top of the mountain.
You
peak.
miss
can
the
see
mountain.
a piece of flat ground where the snow is settled that you would surmise is near the top, and you land on it. And there's a moment where you go, all the snow's a bit deeper than I thought. And you just sink into it, and the snow comes up to here, and you are soaked. But you kind of rest upon it, and the ground feels firm below you.
Great.
You have a look around, and whatever this sight was, you can't see anymore.
Okay, then the only thing I want to do while I'm up there is I want to take the symbol of Paris that Ray gave me.
With height.
I'm closer to Paris.
That's how it works.
And look up.
I can't get any closer.
And you're laughing, but that's basically what I'm doing.
I know.
And say out loud,
It's gonna work this time.
I don't know what else I can do to make you talk to me. This is potentially one of the highest points in the world. Please say something.
Make a religion check for me.
Come on.
10.
The DC is lower here. It is.
Vindication!
It is. I will give you that. It is a place of tranquility
Right.
and...
Come on.
Paris with a massive telescope. Oh, finally!
Welcome.
I've never needed you to
For
deliver
fuck's
more
sake,
than
why'd you live below the clouds all the time?
religion. 16.
Nice.
Okay.
It's the first time it's been over a 10 forever.
English.
You spend a few moments.
You get attacked and die.
Close your eyes, you meditate, you go through the procedures. You look up into the sky. And there is... Actually, can the two of you please leave the table?
Yes, absolutely. So early on in the game. Oh, I love it.
Sorry, I feel like you've not been able to do anything yet.
Oh, don't worry, we'll have our time. Bye, guys. Bye.
Fantastic.
It's finally worked.
I know, it's been so long.
It was that or just get back or just tap the edge.
So, you close your eyes and you feel a hand on your shoulder. But there is no instinctive reaction of danger, no hand to the sword. For whatever reason, it leaves no reaction in you. You are at peace. As you look around, and stood next to you is the familiar form of Parith. You can see, even in her gleaming silver armour, heavy, ornate, with the golden sword at her sheath, she stands above the snow. You can see almost without weight, looking out on the horizon. You're a long way from home, Theren.
Why have you ignored me? What did I do?
Why do you think I've ignored you?
I've tried to reach out to you so many times. I've needed you. And there's been nothing. I'm so scared. I'm so tired. I don't know what I'm doing anymore, and I don't think I deserve to have any of this power, be it what you've given me or what I took in a moment of desperation.
Theren, I've never left you. Of course I've been here all along. How else do you think you smite the way you do, you heal the way you do? I've always been here. You don't need me to answer these questions. That is not what I'm here for. You, on your own doing, have survived more than most already. You've grown faster than most. You've channeled more of my power than most without any guidance, without any indication of what I want you to do, without any reason for why I give you this power. You do it. Why guide somebody that doesn't need to be guided? You ask me, you don't know what you're doing, but not everybody that doesn't know what they're doing can stand on the peak of Mount Arnan, looking out, calling to a god whose power they can channel. I think you do know what you're doing, you just don't know why you're doing it. And that, I'm not so sure I can help you with.
I know I'm not doing my duty anymore. I'm to stay alive. I'm to return and bring evidence that I will be beneficial to my order. I'm not doing that here. If they knew why I was here, if they knew how wrong the feelings I have for her are, being cast out would be the best punishment I could expect. But I'm not here to talk to you about that. You have more concerns than my stupid teenage infatuation.
I take pleasure in caring about everybody who chooses to care about me, Theren. There's no sense of insignificance or I'll say this to you. You look for guidance and I guide where I can. Don't get too caught up in what the Order tell you to do. You've seen already, they are not my only followers in this world.
But they're dedicated to you. They do everything for you.
So are others.
But we are the only ones that will go to the lengths to preserve your legacy that no one else will.
Are you sure about that?
It's one of the few things that my father has said to me. You would have no reason to lie.
There's a moment when she sort of looks out across the horizon and looks back to you. And you can see in her eyes there's something you haven't seen before. A moment of doubt. A thought crossing across her mind that either is unexpected or not pleasant or wanted. Puts her hand on your shoulder and goes to say, you can see her mouth opening as she forms the words, and then her eyes flick to your hip where Bear Claw is, and there's a moment where she sort of, Theren, what is this? And reaches out to grab Bear Claw, and just at the moment where her hand would brush against his hilt, there's as if you've just fallen from a height and suddenly you wake up on top of the mountain, looking around frantically. Snow up to here, you've sat down at some point, freezing cold, realising that probably more time has passed than you realise. And we'll call the others back in now. I think this is a good time.
Oh.
You can come back in now.
Damn it. Hey! God.
You can come back in. You can have these sausages cold, right?
Huh?
These sausages.
Yeah, they're ready to eat whenever.
Just hold my
We were getting to that.
Okay. Cool. Hello.
Hey.
Sorry, I didn't know why I did that. Please
Did your
cut that
message
out.
reach Paris?
Ryan, cut that out.
Was the signal good?
Yeah, it was fine.
We'll cut that to it down. Aubrey in blue.
Hello.
You watch Theren fly out for a sort of minute or two, just entranced by his very ungainly style of flying, a cross between purpose and drive, and then sudden doubt as a movement will take him just unexpectedly. You'll see him dart closer to the side of the cliff, and then slowly back out, start sweeping around, and then back to the cliff. And then, maybe 10, 15 minutes into the flight, you see him up, and then as he breaks through the clouds around the top of Mount Arnan. What are you doing in this? In the meantime?
He's enjoying himself. Are you okay?
No, not really.
Do you think he's getting worse? Like, I couldn't tell whether because he really had a go at you, and I couldn't tell if it was kind of like anger out of a misjudged sense of caring, or an anger out of some horrendous fey corruption.
Oh, that's super famous fake corruption rage.
I hear it's contagious. No, I sort of sit down, like put my axe to one side. Like, no, he's got a point. Yeah.
Knowing what you've gone through, I can understand why you have a reticence towards cooperating with a man like Theren.
No, but it's not just that, Blue. Like, when we left the Beggar's Ball, I thought I was fine. And then going to Ybrit, nothing seemed wrong. Partaked in tournaments, that was great, nothing seemed wrong. And I thought everything was okay, so, but, you know, time to start a new life, new me. And then, well, you saw what happened on the ship. And then you saw, just all those memories came back. And
Oh, I'm sorry.
oh, don't be sorry, I think I'm broken.
I think we're all, present company. But you say you're broken, we'll fix you.
No, it's not that, like, when we faced that horrible slug on the ship, and me and Theren almost died, but you just, I don't know what it was, you just charged in, not caring for your own safety, and saved us. Thanks to you, we're alive.
God, now you put it like that, it was quite scary.
But all I'm saying is that you just, no, don't.
No good.
You just, how do you control your fear?
Well, when I'm with you two.
Yeah, but
I mean, between your axe mania and Theron's various weird things he's got going on, not a lot to fear.
yeah, but
I've got you back when we got Philip.
But the moment I left you, you guys almost died. I feel, I don't know what, I worry about losing you both.
What drove you away from us?
I thought I was being clever, and I thought if we'd have a good look at what this Lady rewards, we'd have a bit more into it. But I was wrong, so I just thought, it's fine. And you seemed capable. I thought you were just going to stay there with Cardamom whilst Theren does what Theren does, and goes and looks at some buildings.
We can't leave
And you
Theren
go-
alone for too long.
I know, he talked about the Temple of Perry for fucking ages. It was, so I just thought I'd go and do some reconnaissance.
Cardamom.
So I got down the notes, don't
It's a matter of time for his cardigan.
I thought I would, I thought I was helping, and I wasn't.
No, you were. You told us.
I brought another one of those creatures to you.
Then you killed it.
I ignored your message.
Look, I think sometimes, maybe, rational thought gives way to the storm. I mean, I don't understand those powers you have, but they seem to drive you to some extent. And maybe Theren and I need to do something to help you channel those elemental forces that really I don't... Why do you shoot electric out of your body?
I don't know.
No,
I've always been able to do it, and then...
like me with my magic. Completely unknown how we can do this. You had to pray for ages. You're just like, woo!
Yeah! That's made a really shoddy deal.
One of many. Well, I guess I've never seen it as magic, though. Like, you do so many different things. I just hit things with electricity.
Exactly. You don't know what it is. So maybe that's part of, the whole things you're going through.
Maybe.
Look, it's tricky, but we'll work it out.
Look, I guess what I want to say to you, Blue, is that thank you for what you did on the ship, and I'm sorry I underestimated you with the sword thing.
Oh, no problem.
So,
thank you for joining me.
Well,
Not now.
no. No, because we need to be together for this, but if ever you want to train, and I'm happy... Now, I know what you're thinking. I'm no School of Theren, but if you ever need someone to train, I will happily offer my services.
You trained me well before, so yeah.
No, but I underestimated
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
This is my sort of another apology.
Oh, no need. You asked me several weeks ago why Theren and I brought you back.
Yeah.
I didn't really give you an answer.
No.
I think it was because we felt your story hadn't finished yet. It's hard. That sounds super cheesy and lame, I know. But that was kind of, at least to me, the feeling. I couldn't explain it, really. So, whatever you're going through, there's an end point to this. And a happy end. This is like chapter 2, I think.
I appreciate that, Blue. But I probably only talk to you about this. I don't think Perry would understand.
Not yet. I'm working on him. Combat tactics, he's amazing, obviously.
Okay, yeah.
People tactics, yeah, he's getting there.
I mean, yeah, sure.
I mean, yeah, no, well, yeah. I'm the face, let's just say.
Yeah.
But given time, I will mould you both into...
Oh my god, you're the true leader of the party!
No, like emotionally,
Yeah.
maybe.
Okay, I appreciate it.
The plot twist hits.
We're doomed.
Thank you. I'm giving the biggest hug ever. It's not the first time ever. Yeah.
Welcome everybody on this hug to Blue's Big Boat Adventure.
Oh no! It's Aubrey's Big Boat Adventure!
No.
You can't!
The alliteration was in front of you this whole time.
No.
You never saw it.
You in fact gave it to us. Thank you very much for that.
That's my title, copyrighted. So what do you want to do? Do you want to wait for him?
Should we hide?
I
No,
think on this
no,
occasion we
you
shouldn't. Like, I'm a bit. How long has he been gone for?
At this stage, probably 20 minutes.
Good.
How long does your flight spell?
He's good now. I told him.
Okay.
I think I told him. I definitely told him.
Okay.
I definitely told him.
He went straight up.
Yeah.
Do we wait for him to fall straight down?
He'll come back.
Okay.
Oh.
Do we just stare at the sky for an hour?
Got anything else you want to talk about?
Not really.
Okay.
Thank you, Blue.
Yeah, no problem. Enjoy silence.
Can we take a short rest?
I think we just. Oh right.
I don't know.
We've already had one.
Oh, that's true. No, I paced.
Yeah.
I
We
don't
don't want
rest. I don't rest.
to get sluggish
No.
in terms of game mechanics.
Can I actually, as a point, can I
Yes.
go look over at the flab giant?
Yes.
Oh yeah, good idea.
No, I don't want to. I don't want to rummage in any pockets or anything that's down there. I just want to see like how many hours were in it, all that stuff. I just want to analyze what this creature is.
Okay, make me a nature check.
I will.
Blue, what were you doing?
Stabbing it.
You investigating or rummaging around, or what are you up to?
Gently prodding it,
Gently prodding it. Okay.
and also keeping a lookout around. As
Okay.
if I
Make a
lose
perception check.
concentration. Oh, not good. Perception?
Perception.
16.
16 in nature.
15.
15. You quickly establish, looking through this corpse, its constitution must have been incredible. The injuries and the damage this thing has taken at some point, and seemed to be fairly uninjured in the way that it fought you, is incredible. The ammunition, the bolts, the arrows, at some point splinters, pieces of wood. You can see random things have just been thrown and jabbed into this creature. It doesn't look like it's at any point tried to take them out or to remove them. You would surmise perhaps this flab, the actual fat mass around this creature, almost its own armour, in the way that it just consumes everything that goes anywhere near it. It looks disgusting, absolutely vile. You can see various bits of food that once lurked in bags and pockets around it, either decayed or been eaten, and bones hanging around. But
Yeah.
it looks disgusting.
Can I tell with the say arrows in it? Can I tell how long ago those arrows were in? Like are they old wounds? Or are they...
Make a survival check.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Natural 20 is a
Natural
22.
20.
Recognise the brand.
Okay, you surmise that some of them are very old, maybe a year or two old. Others, and actually now that you twig, now that you're looking for it, most of them within a month or so. A lot of the iron bolts, the arrowheads, you sort of pull a couple out to have a look at. There's no rust. The wood hasn't decayed particularly, and you can see of the new things, there seems to be a lot of bolts, a lot of arrows, and then very quickly it becomes the newer things, pieces of wood, bits of chiseled, manufactured spears, splinters. You can see the occasion that looks like a bedpost has been taken off and sharpened. You can see absolutely everything, including things like cutlery, including daggers, anything possible.
Kitchen
And
sink.
the more drastic the weapon, the newer it looks on the body. You would surmise with a natural 20 that these creatures, maybe over the last month or so, have been pestering something that has been attacking it and getting more and more desperate in its defense.
How damaged? Asked Blue. How bad was the town or the buildings that you and Theren were looking at?
What is-
You said it was something to do with the order.
Yes, I was paying attention.
Well,
It was very small. There was like 3 buildings. One of them was like a tower and it's fallen over. The other one was okay, but then it came out of it. There was no longer okay. And then we found like a body of, we think, an order person.
Yeah. You go check the.
I looked to where Theren usually is. I'm like, oh yeah, I should keep concentration on that.
Guys. Okay.
Yeah, there weren't a lot of people there. We found one body.
Only one body.
Pretty gnarled up.
Because I remember.
Theren looked pretty hit by it.
But I just remember because I think, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think David said Theren had read out the notes.
Yeah, he gave
So,
all
Yeah,
the details.
I'll remind you of the
Yeah,
details.
please, yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
I don't wanna be
you
like,
picked
I'm
up several
investigating.
facts. You
Yeah.
picked up that there were 7 members of the Order. Inquisitor Augustus was leading them. You know that they were searching for pre-calamity information, that a supply ship was due in a few months ago but seems to have gone missing somehow. You know that monsters have been attacking their settlement. Supplies and morale seem to be low. These are all just from chips and bits of information you pick up. They can't keep the monsters back. Pops up, and ammunition and weapons are being scrounged from whatever they can find. Actually, a lot of what you've picked up just now collaborates with the information that Blue has remembered from earlier.
Yes. Okay.
I'll let you off this once.
And you said you only found one body
Mm-hmm.
in the thing.
Yes.
So I assume their encampment next to the boulder field with 5 of them there. There was something in the middle, like shiny objects or a pile of shiny stuff.
Shiny.
Could be more bodies.
Ooh.
But if so, that's 6 people unaccounted for.
Hmm.
They could still be around.
Oh, here's hoping. And we need to find the posh tits as well, do we?
I mean, Lady Realwall.
Mm. And
I
Coromandel.
Captain Corelli.
Caramel? No.
Calm in. So, not to speed the two up a little bit,
No.
but what would you like to do? You can stand here and you can wait for Theren to come back, or you can go looking for something.
I feel like I assume Theren did say we should wait, and I feel kind of bad if we.
Yeah, I'm not going to risk doing anything that could lose my concentration, so I'll take my 16 perception check and just keep an eye out.
Perfect. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay. The two of
together.
you continue to wait. About half an hour goes by. About 35 minutes goes by. About 40 minutes goes by. And there's 45 minutes now on the clock. You can not feel the concentration being lost on the spell, but you know that there's only so long you can keep this up. There is still no sign of Theren.
Is there? Can you do anything to send a message to him? I'm guessing not. Okay.
Theren, you come out of the trance. You are cold. You are frozen in the snow. You've been lying in this for a significant amount of time. Can you make a constitution saving throw for me, please?
Need a different dice.
12.
12. Okay. You avoid the worst of it. You have to shake your limbs down a little bit, but you're cold, but you're still awake. You can see the clouds actually now have started to shift in the afternoon wind, leading a little bit more visibility down the slopes of the mountain. You can see your way down. It is tall. It is very high from here. The ocean has taken a shimmering texture. You can't see waves. You can't see movement. It's just vibrations of light as the sun gets reflected off it. It's very disconcerting.
I tentatively try to fly again.
It seems to still be working.
Then I race as quickly as I can to where I remember them being.
Okay, perfect. I wasn't going to really make it lose his concentration. So,
We live in fear.
it's about... Well, let's work this out. 2,000 feet, you're going down by 1,500, you move 60 feet around, you probably dash you together. You've got about 10 minutes left on the clock when Theren, you can see him appearing.
Oh, thank God.
Bomb through the clouds.
Bombing through the clouds,
Is it a bird?
Superman
Is it
style,
some rain? No, it's there.
as he makes his way
Oh,
towards you.
Theren.
It's probably about 2:30, 3 o'clock now. Even in the afternoon light, the wind chill is beginning to pick up. It's getting a little colder now. You get the sense it might be a cold night.
Okay, I land shivering.
Theren!
There's some caves up there. We could probably use them. I didn't see how deep they were, but we could rest there for the night because they look.
Precipitation warm up slightly. Can I do that?
I don't know. I do not have magic.
You tell me what does the spell do? I don't remember all of the things about precipitation.
My God. You've got them all there.
I can create an odour. I can chill warm or flavour up to 1 foot of non-living material. So I kind of just hold his armour.
Yeah, you can warm his armour up in bits and pieces. It helps. It takes a little while for...
His hand warmer thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like little bits and pieces. It does help, but...
Thank you, Blue. Thank you. Please
What is that?
never do that again.
Sorry, got carried away.
You're wearing splint mail now, aren't you? So it's almost like a bit of a skirt.
You okay, buddy? We were worried you were gone for a while.
Any sign of Lady Rimwall?
I couldn't see them at all.
No.
No.
What about the fortress we come here for? No.
Nothing. The only buildings I saw were those that we fought that monstrosity at earlier. The caves higher up. I think we should go there as soon as possible.
Agreed.
Sounds good. We need to get you warm.
I'm feeling a lot better after you did that. Thank you. I mean, don't touch me there again, please.
Sorry. It's hard. There's a lot of flaps.
Remember, consent is
Yeah.
very important.
All right,
I know.
Actually,
As
just
a-
the name of
As
the
a general
phrase.
rule, below the waist, ask first.
Okay.
All right.
And only when they get an enthusiastic yes, not a yes. It's got to be.
Okay, I should be right this time.
Write this down.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm sorry
Please
I was
hand
gone
the
so
guidebook.
long. And
It's
I'm
fine.
sorry about earlier.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I was...
No, it's fine. We should probably do something about this flat giant. Like, I just assume it's just out in this middle of the
Yeah, it's still lying there. The
Did you
smell
mind?
is beginning already to grow. It's quite disgusting.
I'm guessing we can't move. Actually, that's a good point. We probably can't do anything. Push it
You
down.
know that it's too heavy for a levitation spell. You do know that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't lift it.
Maybe it is safe here.
Why don't we just leave it?
Why do we need to move it?
I'm just wondering if one
Retaliation?
of us, yeah, one of your brothers or sisters.
If they
Right.
won't find this one, they'll find the other one.
Oh yeah.
Yes, the headless one easily within sight.
Might as well just keep going then. Just leaving bodies out.
Can't believe you managed to get his whole head off.
Well, I was doing it for a few minutes.
Yeah, you get that out of your system.
Well, I thought you were going to die. I was quite angry.
It was scary.
It was scary. But we're fine now.
They are weird.
They are weird.
What creatures kill you by sitting on you?
Fat ones.
Anyway, where's this cake?
Right.
Fantastic
Yes.
ones. So,
Scary
what are you
ones.
doing? Are you making your
I'm
way
gonna
up?
lead them.
Lead them to the.
Lead them to the closest cave.
Okay,
I saw.
right. You remember from your perception check there was a cave somewhere in the region about 300 to 400 feet above where you are now, so you can make your way up there. But you do know it's going to be a combination of scrambling and in some places a little bit of climbing as well. So with the equipment you've got,
As I say.
Rope trick.
I'd like you all to make a sleight of hand check.
Are we,
no.
are we doing the rope trick or are we? No, too late.
I think
Oh, you already scrambled up.
24.
9.
Why do you use that dice?
like it.
It
feels
nice
Probability.
What was it? Sorry, it was a sleight check hand.
Sleight of hand, yes.
17.
17. Okay. You all
Grab
do a
for
very
it.
good job. Again,
Grab
you're
for it.
well practiced at this now. The DC gets lower and lower every time because you're not in a pressure situation. You're getting used to this. You begin to climb. I would like you all to make athletics checks for me, please. Again, we're doing this as a team. You can all help each other as you go up.
21.
18.
23.
Wow, right, fine. You fucking up the thing, up the cliff.
We can do it, lads.
You make no short work of it at all. It takes you about an hour to climb up the sort of 300, 400 feet, but you make decent progress and you do not become exhausted. You find a good way of doing it. And eventually you make your way. The wind is now beginning to get a little bit more chilly, especially as you get higher up towards the end of the day, but also at a higher altitude. There is nothing. The breeze coming in from the sea, absolutely nothing stopping it from hitting the base and side of this mountain. It is exposed and it's beginning to get a little bit cold, but you see the cave in front of you. It is less a cave and more just a natural opening of the rock as it's sort of worn away, you can see, looking down, boulders 250 feet below that you would surmise at some point have fallen from the side of this mountain and a hole is being created. What would you like to do?
So we're just outside the cave.
Yeah,
isn't it?
you can sort of climb your way to the edge of this cave. It looks like it's an opening probably about 20 feet tall, about 15 feet wide. Natural stone. It's not chiseled in any way. It's not prepared. It looks like a natural fissure.
How far in does it seem to go?
What's your dark vision?
60.
60 feet. Okay, it appears to be... Yeah, actually, it seems to go beyond 60 feet. You can see the passage. Now that you look, it curves round to the left and seems to go down slightly. Maybe a perception check.
Yes!
Natural 20.
That's why I don't get rid of it.
Natural 20.
Boom.
It won't last.
Just give me the map.
It won't last.
Natural 20.
You see all the
I have a
creatures
feeling
in this
Didn't want me to
cave.
get that.
Yeah.
Fine, okay.
Fine.
Right. It almost just sort of twigs on your attention just slightly. You're looking in and light. Yeah, no, definitely light. It just slowly waving in the breeze. Little luminescent orbs. 3, 4, 5 of them just slowly sort of drifting in the breeze, maybe 50 feet into the cave. And you bring yourself a little bit closer, you have a look with your dark vision, and you notice at the edge of the cave, the natural 20, fuck's sake, you notice that the entire side of the cave is covered in a thick green-grey mossy substance that seems to be clinging to the side and the ceiling of the cave itself. Tendrils of vines scattered down 10 feet from the ceiling, wrapped around and just glowing soft little beads that seem to just be luring you in. You, with a natural 20, this is something unnatural about this light. It puts you on edge.
I relate all of that in brutal detail.
Wow, I can't see a thing.
I don't think that is particularly safe.
Are there any other caves nearby?
There are 2 more.
You remember seeing at least 2 more, yeah. But they are a little bit higher.
We'd have to climb. All I know is that whatever is in there, it causes a gut feeling, but it's not right. It's not naturally forming.
We can do the bubble thing. I create the bubble. You lean out and go zap.
It's an idea.
And ruin every plan Ryan has. And make this whole series incredibly tedious.
Who's Ryan?
I don't think it's one of my goals.
What are your gods?
He's the god.
I mean, I guess the only problem is if we're here, we're trying to find somewhere to stay. If we're going to clear out this cave, we don't want to cause any noise. So even if we did do the bubble, noise of fighting or spells.
Still got some daylight left. We could try.
I should clarify. There's a little bit you should know that with a natural 20 as well. The cave disappears sort of 60 feet in, but there is a gleaming of something on the floor at the back of the cave that you do see. It looks like some sort of discarded material, and actually, at a hazard, you would guess some sort of discarded equipment of some kind, hanging like below where this thing is.
Low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Oh.
So with a natural 20, you would assume that something has come in, potentially been eaten, and then whatever's left has been dropped on the floor below. But there's something there.
Oh, I'm armor. Oh, pick me up, Theren.
If I had to guess, I would say that.
So there's a clarification I should make. You did get a very high perception check, so that's fair. That's fair.
A member of the Order has gone in there. I see something. It might be armor. I'm duty bound to kill whatever is in there that did that.
How do you know it's their armor? Like, I looked at the giant before, and there'd been like weapon attacks on it almost, I'd say, a year old. This could be something from there.
You're right. I don't know without getting closer, but it is my job to find out.
Okay.
I would like to go in there at one point. I think that perhaps in the mouth of this cave, away from these vines that are all over the walls, we might be safe for now. If we all keep watch.
I mean, we could always just use torches, right? On the vines?
Yes, I'm just aware that
It appears to be one patch. It's about 15 feet in terms of size, but it's along one side and ceiling of the wall. It's not everywhere in the cave. It's just this one area that's glowing softly.
I can't stop thinking about the cave and the Beggar's Bowl just before Aubrey was returned to us and what we saw there. These things came out of the walls.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Odie told me about this at some point.
Shall I just create the safety bubble while you guys are discussing this?
That might
For
be an
you to
idea.
go in.
I think maybe we can rest in the bubble now here, and
It's
in the morning.
It's about 3:30, 4 o'clock. No.
Do you guys need a rest? I'm okay.
Yeah. I guess it just depends on how, I'm worried now about Cardigan and...
Oh, I love it. You just dangle things in front. There's no.
I don't know,
Walk away.
I feel
You
like...
can continue going up if you'd like.
No, but if we... Shut up. I don't know what I'm talking to.
This isn't just my decision.
No, I mean, kill stuff. Yeah. We need to find out what happened to you guys.
Yeah, we did say we'd help. Anyway, so...
Then do you want to rest first, or do you just want to go?
I'm good.
Yeah.
What's the plan?
I'll go first. I can see.
I can light some of the torches you gave us. Have that in hand.
Good idea.
That's the only issue, is that I have to be close. As you see, it's my one move is to go close and hit.
Do you have javelins?
Then
2 left.
we'll do it in a triangle formation.
Blue, do you know what a triangle is?
Well, I will be at the front.
Okay.
The two of you will be roughly 2 feet behind me
Okay.
on either shoulder.
Okay.
I'm grade 8 with the triangle.
Oh, why didn't you get one of those when we were in Ebert?
Forgot.
Oh, sorry.
So triangle.
It's fine.
You okay? You seem strangely solemn for a man who's just flown.
Yes, I'm It's been a long day.
Okay, we'll
I'm
talk
just
about it
tired.
later.
No, there's really nothing to talk about. I'm fine.
Once
Thank
you're
you.
in my warm bubble, you'll feel better.
I'm sure I will be.
Right, let's go fight some vines.
Okay.
So what are you doing?
I'm gonna light a torch.
Okay.
Go in.
After you.
Triangle formation.
I walk.
You walk in. Okay.
Oh, sword and shield, right?
Sword and shield, yeah. How close would you like to get?
To the vines.
Can't
I
you
think we
zappy
should
zappy?
steer away. Oh, that's not a bad idea.
What's
No, that might be a terrible idea.
What's the idea?
What's the idea, sorry?
Giving them a anticipatory blast of Eldritch Smite.
Oh, we don't know it's definitely evil.
Yeah, we don't know that.
Should we say hello?
It just could be vines.
It could just be
It
friendly.
was just very good description.
Still,
Our
I
paranoia has
think-
got really high.
I think we should steer
Never
clear
do
of them
that.
anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, we would go to the side.
Let's creep up to
Okay.
the side.
You can get round it, but it's squeezed. It would be about 10 feet of space around it, effectively, to get round. So imagine if the corridor's about 15 feet wide, it's occupying the furthest 5 feet on the sort of one side. You'd have to squeeze round to the other.
Do we have to go in single file or can the formation hold?
You could do a formation, but somebody would be closer than the other person.
Okay. Then Theren would suggest that the blue is closest to the completely normal cave wall.
Yeah.
So it's Aubrey and Theren that are closest to the danger.
Well, I think one person has to be closest.
Sounds
right?
good to me.
I don't mind. I've got a torch.
You do have a torch.
Thank you.
I mean, I could levitate it.
It's
The vines?
on the wall.
Woo!
Oh, you mean the
It's
torch?
like,
You just hold the torch
yeah,
up
it
in the
wouldn't
air.
help you. No, you're
I
right.
don't have a torch on me so I can see.
It's hanging from the ceiling. I'm just like, if it squishes all of it.
We go.
How many damage do you do?
We go. Yeah, let's just go round.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
torch out.
Perfect. So, Theren first, then blue to the side, and Aubrey
Closest, yeah.
closest. Okay.
Sweet.
You all make your way past. Can you all make perception checks for me, please?
Wow.
Ditto.
Both got lines. Let's make it a triple. No. That's the natural one.
11.
That's unlucky.
Unlucky. I'm gonna keep it. I'm alright.
Perception checks?
10.
10? 11?
Natural one.
Natural 1. Okay. So, you all start approaching. You make your way round the side of this thing. Again, the light is eerie. It sort of glows just softly, like a sort of... It's difficult to describe. Imagine a luminous fungus or UV light softly glowing off something in the dark. It's mesmerising, this beautiful yellow light as you make your way round. As you get closer to the equipment on the floor, you do recognise the familiar sight of Order armour. It's probably about 15 feet away from it by this point as it happens. You recognise this time more plated, but not plate armour, proper splint mail, effectively. Standard issue Inquisitor weapons and armour.
Branded and everything.
Exactly. But there's something in it, and it's decayed, and it looks rotted, and there are the strangest burn marks all around the edges of the armour. Who got higher than an 8?
For perception.
You
These two.
and you.
I'm close.
Very poorly on stealth. You notice that the moss on the side of the ceiling and the wall has started edging closer as you approached, and it's made its way into the middle of the chamber. And I'd like to roll initiative now because you have got within its range. So everybody roll initiative. So
I'm gonna use luck for
Theren.
that roll.
5.
Okay. Using luck.
Let me see for
Fine.
that one.
Fine. 5 for Theren.
Thank you.
Blue?
Natural 22, natural 20.
22 for Aubrey. What about Blue?
15.
15. Okay, fine. It makes its way towards Aubrey, who was the closest, and who had the lowest
I
perception
did.
roll,
Yep.
unfortunately. So,
Right, go for it.
with advantage, the lights hanging from this moss-like creature suddenly burn an intense white blue as there's sort of almost a spasm up the moss. You can see plumes of spores start to drop down, and the tendrils snap out and try and grab Aubrey. So with advantage,
Yep, go for
there's a
it.
surprise attack on you.
Yep.
That is a 24 to hit.
That does hit.
That does hit. Okay. This may hurt a little. Can you make a Constitution saving throw for me, please?
I can. I'm going to use luck on that. Better. That is a 22.
Oh, exactly average. You take 32 bludgeoning damage as you see Aubrey enveloped in tendrils, just grabbed all over. Spores and vines begin to wrap around her arms. You see her lash out instinctively, only for her arm and her axe to be caught up on one side, and the tendrils are now slowly starting to drag down her body. And there's a moment where you feel her fighting as her weight very temporarily shifts, weirdly weightlessly, as you can see it starting to pull her up.
That was with the 16 save.
What was your
22 in total.
the Constitution saving throw?
Yep.
As the vines hit you, you feel yourself start to become numb. Instantly, there is no pain anywhere in the wounds, but you seem to resist the worst of it. And you are now immune to that effect for 24 hours. So
Yay!
that's
okay.
good. So we go to the top. Aubrey.
Cool.
You are currently grappled
Yep.
and restrained.
My favourite kind of
Get
position.
out.
I know. First I'm going to rage.
You're going to rage, fine. The lightning crackles out. Using house rules, it has you grappled. It's going to immediately take the damage. I think that is fair because it can't really dodge at this point.
4.
4 damage, 4 lightning damage. You see it crackling up this creature.
Cool. And then I'm going to rage out and try and get out of the grapple.
Okay, that's a strength saving throw, please. Actually, no, it is still a grapple, so it is an athletics check.
Well, they're both the same. It's plus 8.
Fine, but you get advantage because it's you're raging.
Okay, so it's 6 plus 8 is 12. No, hang on. 14.
14, it's not enough, unfortunately.
Okay.
You are fighting
Yep.
against this creature, but you can't
Yep.
get out,
That's
unfortunately.
fine.
It has wrapped you.
Cool. I'm gonna burn that last luck ASAP. Oh, okay,
You're
cool.
going to be burning your luck.
Not yet, no, not for that one.
Fine. So that's your action, your bonus action, and your movement is
Can't
0.
move. Yep, I'm
Blue.
good.
You see Aubrey get grabbed and being pulled up as this creature is now beginning to glide across the ceiling towards the two of you.
Can I touch Aubrey?
You could, yeah, easily. You can make your way up to her. She's probably about 5 feet away from you at this point anyway.
Can I try and pull her out of this thing?
You certainly can try.
Would that induce an opportunity attack?
You don't know.
What would blue do?
Pull her out.
I need this
Okay, so you're going to try and pull her out. Are you attempting to help her with her next attempt, or are you going to try and pull individually?
I will help her with her attempt, and whilst I'm doing this, I will inspire her. What shall I say?
Stormbreaker.
Stormbreaker.
Break some storms.
Stormbreaker.
You will win.
Against these vines!
Take that inspiration,
I will,
That is
thank
fantastic.
you.
Sorry, I've been waiting since last week.
Okay.
Quick question. Can I use inspiration on death saving throws? Not that I'm worried, just out of interest. Can I
Do you
use
have
that?
inspiration?
Yes.
Oh,
Bardic
bardic inspiration.
Sorry,
I was
yeah.
going to say,
No,
I
no,
don't
only
seem
do
to remember
inspiration,
giving
yeah.
you inspiration. Yeah,
Yeah.
fine. Yes. Can you?
I don't know.
I think it's on skill checks, isn't it?
I will check.
Double check what it says in the bardic book.
Isn't saving from death a skill?
I think it's a saving throw. So if it's saving throws, I'll allow it. But
Okay.
if it's
I don't know. I
not-
just wanted to check before I go.
I will check before you have to do that.
Just asking for a friend.
What I will say right now is that if you are unconscious,
Yeah.
you cannot hear the inspiration and you cannot become inspired.
But
if
if
you
I've
have
already
one
got it,
there-
yeah. That's what I wanted to check.
I don't think I'd just kill you, would you?
Yes.
I think you just draw it out. And then go on another silly side quest.
Okay, so that is your action. You're going to try and help Aubrey.
Yeah, and it's one ability check, attack roll, or saving throw. But yeah.
Now, I'm going to be nice.
Yep.
I'm going to say the help action gives somebody advantage. Aubrey already has advantage on the athletics check.
Oh.
So I would recommend you try yourself.
Yeah, try it yourself.
Okay,
I'll keep the.
I will try myself.
Come on, Sam.
And that is athletics 15.
15. No, you're tugging. This creature has a tight grip on Aubrey, unfortunately.
Thanks for trying.
The creature's turn. You can see it now gliding across the roof, above Aubrey and now above Blue, as more tendrils calm down and attempt to grab you.
Good thing my armor class is so good.
That's a 28 to hit.
Oh shit!
Yep.
Oh dear, I'm so sorry. Right,
Oh my god.
so, that is a poor roll. D12s, they are the worst. So, 5, 7... You take 21 bludgeoning damage.
Great.
As the creature grabs you, and again, you are restrained and grappled by this creature, and I'd like you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Ooh.
Constitution 16.
Constitution 16. Again, you feel that numbing pain going down the side of you, that sense of reality beginning to distort, but you pull yourself out of it, and it does not affect you. Theren.
What you gonna do?
I don't fucking know. Is Aubrey lifted off the ground?
No. She's still on the ground, but you can see that it is grabbing both of them.
Which one is closest to me?
At the moment, Blue would probably be a little bit closer to you,
Yeah,
but you
but
can easily maneuver yourself so that either is closest to you.
Why do we get ourselves into these situations?
Okay, I'm going to use my action to give Blue advantage in his next turn getting help.
Okay. Help action.
Thank you.
Yeah. No. And as I'm helping Blue, I want to say to them both, as soon as we're out, we run.
Okay.
So
action.
Yeah.
Anything in bonus action?
What we got?
The only thing I can do would be to Hexblade Curse it. But I'm not sure that's an amazing
Virus and
idea.
threat protection.
Oh
Windows
no!
Defender summary. Oh, I didn't get through the rest of it. Tragic. So, you're going to Hexblade's Curse?
I'm not sure that's an amazing idea.
It's up to you.
You've got a couple of spells you don't use that often.
Yeah,
Just
but
having
they
a
need
look through.
actions.
What about the plus 2 AC one? Is that not
Yeah,
bonus
Shield
action?
of Faith.
Shield of Faith?
I thought.
Is that an action?
I thought it was
bonus
I
action.
was bonus action.
Double check. Just double check.
Meanwhile,
He smites. This is typical paladin. He's got a whole thing of
Smite,
spell
smite,
cards.
smite.
None he
Oh.
does is smite.
No, you're right, there's a bonus.
Bonus action.
that could really help.
If you want a bit more AC. Because you do know you're going to have to get close to this creature to help Blue out.
I was thinking more for one of these two.
Well, for one of these two either.
1 second. No, that's an action, never mind. Shit. I will cast Shield of Faith on Blue.
Oh,
Okay.
thank you.
You focus that divine energy as you
No,
are
it makes
grabbing
sense, yeah.
Blue and pulling him away, and Blue, you feel that familiar warmth of divine energy rush around you, giving you a little bit of protection. Back to the top. Aubrey.
Alright, Storm's Aura straight away.
Storm's Aura. It
Yeah.
takes the damage. Give it to
4.
me. 4 damage. You can see it wincing as it's like the electricity sparks up the tendrils, but it just more and more tendrils are now beginning to gather around the two of you, and Theren, you see it starting to coalesce around you as well. But what would you like to do?
I am going to try and break this.
Do it.
So that's
Athletics check
with advantage.
with advantage.
Hang on. That's an 18.
18.
No, 19.
19.
Yes.
Okay. With one almighty,
There we go.
you rip an entire tendril from the wall and throw it to the ground and quickly cleave your axe round to free yourself. You are 3 of the
Okay.
grapple.
Am I able to move then? Or am I...
So,
I think I've just become
restrained
unrestrained.
says creature speed becomes 0, but you're no longer restrained. So I'm going to say your movement is now 30 because you're out of it. Oh, 40, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Is your movement 40 or 30?
It's 40 now.
It is 40.
Yeah.
It is 40.
Yeah.
It's a weird sheet. It's a different layout.
It's different. Yeah, look, I've got
What are you doing?
This is
Anyway,
the
okay. I'm going to take what Theren said and get out of the cave. And
Okay.
take that attack of opportunity. Probably.
Take an attack of opportunity.
Yeah. I'm going to take it.
It will lash out at you
Go for it.
with its attack of opportunity. So, as you leave yourself rush out, more tendrils go to grab you.
Yep.
No.
Yeah.
It is a
Yes,
natural
please.
20.
Please reroll that then. The luck, please.
Natural 1.
Oh!
Fucking luck! I thought I had you! Damn it! Right, no, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. You see it. There's a moment where it just gathers all around you. You feel like you're just running into the vines, and there's a moment of panic, like absolute fear, as it just the whole smothering, the whole it's over you, and you trip. And you go straight over on your face and thwack into the floor and roll and manage to pick yourself up and look back and go, oh, I'm out. Okay. And you keep going.
Yeah, I have a small cry.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So how far do you want to go out?
Out of range.
About 40 feet will take you almost to the entrance of this cave.
I want to be out of range of the vines, but still, if I can turn back and help them, basically. I'm guessing...
How far do you want to go?
I'll say 10.
Make a nature check for me.
Yeah, sorry. It's a nature. 17.
Based on the pre-game attacks and previous rounds and its movement and its ability, you'd reckon it's out of range of about 10 feet.
Okay, yeah, I'll stay 10 feet out of it then.
Okay, great.
Go towards.
So you want to stay 10 feet away?
Yeah, going towards the entrance so that I can, if need be, I can rush back in.
But you're staying within 10 feet of it?
No, outside of 10 feet of it.
Okay, fine.
No.
Just clarifying that, yes.
11 feet out of its range.
Okay, fine.
Yes, please.
Right, fine.
Christ. Okay.
Blue.
Okay, so
You are still restrained and grappled by this creature, but you now have Theren pulling on one side of you.
Come on.
Good call.
So, and I'm going to do another one for myself now. So I'm going to inspire myself.
Wow.
I go.
You just give yourself like battle chance.
I imagine Blue's just humming out the tiger.
That doesn't count.
So you have advantage because Theren is helping you.
Come on.
And I'm going to.
Come on.
So that is 16 plus 6.
22.
Oh!
22 easily. Just with Theren pulling you out, you heave and you rip yourself out of this creature. So you have the movement still. Where do you want to go? You can see Aubrey stood about 15 feet away at this point.
Crying inside.
Are you going to just
Come
bolt
on.
it?
I'm going to run.
Yep, 30 feet.
Because it's already used its reaction. I'm going to run. 40 feet?
30 feet. You do. You
30 feet.
move out. Fantastic.
Don't get stuck.
That's your action, your movement.
I can't help you.
Theren. The creature is making its way slowly towards the edge of the cave, and it moves about 5 feet closer now. You see it think to go towards Aubrey, who's now within range because she didn't move that far away. I did check.
Yeah, that's fine.
But it's going to go for Theren, the closer target to it.
In we go again.
That is an 18 to hit.
That does not hit me.
What's your AC now?
19.
19! Fuck's sake! You see it just going to grab around you, and just with the flourish of the blade, you fight the tendrils off. You manage to keep it from grabbing you, but it's slowly making its way, very slowly. It's literally like 5 feet around, moving towards the edge of the cave.
Close. Wait, so is it now in range of?
It's going close. Yeah, it's got in range of me.
It's within 10 feet of Aubrey now.
Yeah.
It's about 45 feet away from the entrance to the cave. It's about 10 from Aubrey and about 25 from Blue, and it's right over the top of you.
Then I want to run up to where Aubrey is and put myself between her and the creature.
Okay, so you're not taking the dodge action, you're not disengaging. What would you like to do? Are you just...
Am I still in range when I do this?
You don't know.
It's 5 feet away from Aubrey now, right?
It's 10 feet away from
10
Aubrey.
feet, yeah.
And if I was to stand just in front of Aubrey, how far from the creature would I be?
You're sort of sharing some space with her. You could be about 10 feet away.
Okay, I'm going to put myself there and take the dodge action.
Okay. Fantastic. The dodge action comes in. You raise your shield. You get.
I presume the dodge action for Theren is just he forms his.
Yes, rather than dodge out the way and Aubrey gets.
That was the opposite of what I planned.
Aubrey,
Yes.
what would you like to do?
What would I like to do?
You would like to keep running?
No, I would. Can I? Alright, stupid question time. How badly injured does the moss look?
Make an nature check.
No, that's like a 7.
You've got no idea. It's a freaking thing of moss on the wall.
It's moving.
Christ, it's got lights and everything. I mean, honestly.
Okay, I would like then. Sorry. I would like to move and then bonus action use my last healing potion on me.
So you're going to move, bonus action healing potion.
Yeah.
Are you disengaging? Are you just moving?
Yes, disengaging.
You're going to disengage.
I knew there was a thing I had to do quickly.
Fantastic. And you're just going to move all the way out?
Yeah.
This turn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because these guys have got out now. So.
Yeah. So you would now be 50 feet away. So you can get about 5 feet out of the cave.
Fine.
At this point.
Yeah.
Great. So you are out.
Okay. So it's sorry. I always get this one. Healing potion is 2d4 plus 2, right?
Yes, it is indeed.
Pathetic. Okay.
6 points of healing. Perfect. Okay, Blue.
I'm going to give you that for future reference.
Thank you.
What would you like
I've
to
used
do?
it now. So.
I'm going to
Keep a future reference.
inspire Theren by saying, "Oh, I had something for this.
Get your phone out.
Get my phone up,
Get your phone
and
out.
I'll walk 10 steps back away towards the entrance of things, keeping that same distance, and I'm going to sneeze.
Okay.
And shoot electricity.
What?
at it.
Right, fine. So
That won't get you, will it?
I don't know.
you
If
can
I step
arc
to
it
one side.
towards
Yeah,
the
I
ceiling.
assume it's
yeah,
going up,
it's
not
up on the
back.
ceiling. So yeah, that's fine. So what does it got to do?
Make a dex saving throw.
Dex saving
Not
throw.
high.
That is a natural 1.
Yay! Moss cannot dodge.
Dodgeless confirmed. Alright,
Come on.
so it takes
Ooh.
6 points of damage.
6 points of damage. Okay. You can see again the familiar lightnings are crackling up it and various things, but it's still it doesn't seem to react at all. It just is gliding.
Okay, and while I do that, I will say,
We need to get the fuck out of here.
he's got 2 paths to follow. Parrot the Fae, how far he'll go. No one knows. He's got a witch to follow. Where she go, no one knows. No one knows.
That's amazing. Well done.
This is what I do on the bus.
Well done.
Just to get out loud.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
I get some weird looks.
perfect. So you make your way. You are now well out of the cave. Theren, it glides ever closer to you, and you see the tendrils now
Great.
going towards you with disadvantage because you're taking the dodge action.
Great.
So that is a 25 and a 15.
Cool.
Doesn't hit you.
Great.
What would you like to do?
Did you move out
I'll
of...
go out of the way.
You're completely out of the
They're
cave
both
now.
almost out the cave.
Almost out the cave. We'll get
It's like 45 feet from the entrance of the cave now.
Okay, then I will take the disengage action and retreat and put myself in the exact same position, so it's got to...
You can try, but Aubrey actually moves faster than you, so you can get within about 10 feet of her, but yeah.
Yeah, I know
as
what you
in
mean.
I'm
You'll be
in the
between-
way of the
between-
thing and my allies.
You do that. Okay. To cut a long story short, you learn very quickly that this moss does not move very fast at all. So, with a little bit of careful planning, with a bit of blasting, with a bit of Blue's vicious mockery, whatever you'd want to do ranged attacks, over some time, you can easily kill this thing. It's an ambusher. The ambush did not work. You can easily take this thing out.
It worked.
When you were stood outside thinking, I wonder if we should just blast it, I was like, and circumnavigate this. Oh yes, go in. Well done.
Oh.
So, I'm going to just
That's
say
very kind of you.
that
Yeah.
you can very easily kill this
That
thing.
took
Now. Do you want to roll some
ages.
Eldritch Blast if you want, just for the hell of it, or are you okay?
I'm okay.
I
Yeah.
think we're just all like,
You see Theren just smashing this into bits over a prolonged
I've
time.
sneezed worse than you.
I just want to point out,
stupid bullshit.
he doesn't do it with the normal gusto. He just kind of looks a bit solemn and resigned
Yeah.
when he's doing it.
That's fair.
Shall I put the bubble up?
Eventually,
Please.
the moss dissipates. You can see the lights go from like a blue to a blinding white and then to like a red as this thing starts to pulse. The moss is dropping everywhere and eventually it sort of cracks and crisps and dries almost like it's lost all the moisture in it as it crisps and falls to the floor and into spores.
I hate nature.
We're going to take a quick break then as we go and rescue ourselves. But
Oh.
Good
Come
play,
back soon.
guys. Good play.
see you in a bit.
Bye.
I'll stop stress eating grapes.
Yeah, that's 12. Duh.
Half a dozen. Easy.
Whoa!
That's how you start.
That's how you
No,
start
don't
it.
stop. Like, nothing fucking.
Welcome back, everybody. We are playing Xerieos. It's a game that we're playing with dice.
What kind of
This
game?
is a dice.
And Ryan's been a very bad boy.
Also, it's
How's
die.
that a bad boy?
I don't know. I just because you
But you
guys,
guys-
How do you know that?
you're sending me through the emotional. Oh shit!
Yeah.
What was
So-
it? Thanks.
Bubble.
To cut a long story short, after the moss has been decimated by a very apathetic looking Theren, what would you like to do? The cave outstretched in front of you.
What time is it?
It is still about 4 o'clock.
Jeez.
You've probably got a couple of hours to do
The
like that. You
longest
don't
day.
have to
No,
fill the day. You can do what you want. All you've got to do is you're looking for shelter.
it's more the sunlight, just making sure like.
Yeah, you've
Yeah.
got at least 2 hours, maybe 3.
So it looks like all the moss has gone then.
I give
Make
it
a
one
perception
more
check.
Eldritch blast.
No.
And somebody else can make a nature check for me.
7.
Yeah, at this point you're just pounding the wall
Nope.
effectively.
4.
You can't see anything, no.
It looks fine.
Are we gonna go in?
Should we rest here?
I would very much suggest we rest first, just in case.
We've killed the thing in here, so does it go any further back or just as far as we went?
You don't know. You managed to get sort of in, but your attention was more focused on the thing on the floor
We didn't
and
look.
also the glowing thing up above. You didn't particularly pay attention with your passive perceptions.
Why don't I go as far as the armour, have a look, and come back?
We're
Okay.
going together.
Do you guys need any healing before we start, poking around?
I'm fine, but I think Aubrey could use.
Oh, and certainly I could. Should we have a short rest?
I think, well, if the immediate danger is past, I think we can outrun anything else. I think we'll be alright, as long as we're ready to get
Yeah.
out.
I'll go in, have a look. If I see anything like it again, we know we're faster than it. I'll just come straight back.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Do something for me first.
Mm-hmm.
I need to ask you a favour.
Okay.
It's
not another pact, is it?
no,
Okay.
no. I'm going to ask you to make me a promise.
Okay.
reverse pact.
If
Take one off. sorry.
no. If for any reason something happens and I don't make it back to your Brit, I need you to deliver something for me.
Sure. Okay. What is it?
I go into my pack and I take out a rolled up, folded note that's sealed with a bit of wax.
Okay.
Oh shit.
It needs,
Sorry. I'm so sorry. Just say. I'll put this on the camera. This is sealed.
it needs to go to the prison Blue knows where. And if I don't make it back to you, Brit, I would like you to free her. And then give her that.
Well, we said we would help.
Thank you.
But
Which we could do.
you are coming back with us.
Yeah, what's all this talk come from?
Nothing. It's fine.
Nihilistic is what it is.
No. It's all right. It's a precaution. I like being prepared.
Okay, maybe
I'll,
I should do one.
Is this because of the order?
No, it's fine.
It's
I'll
kind of not fine.
I'll see you in a minute. Don't go anywhere. All right. And I give him a smile that doesn't in any way reach his eyes, and turn and walk in.
Right, perfect. So, you make your way into the cave. Can you make a stealth check for me, please?
That's a disadvantage. I fucking
Oh,
love to.
yes.
Right, well, the first one's an actual 20.
Damn it!
Good. Bring in the dice.
Second one's a 5.
There we go.
It was a perfect opportunity to say, I walk away.
So,
Stop,
what was your
stop.
stealth? Stealth
Self total.
Oh yeah, it's 5.
It is just 5.
It's
Yeah.
straight dex.
Perfect, straight dex. So,
Stop,
you
stop.
make your way into the cave.
Dun.
You forget to be
Very
stealthy.
sad day.
After about 20-25 feet, you start to approach where the moss was by the time it was destroyed. It started to chase you out of the cave, realised that it couldn't get out the cave and follow you, and started to retreat back in until you destroyed it. It couldn't go anywhere. You look around. You can't see any evidence of further moss growth, plant life, anything that looks particularly suspicious from what you can see. You do see the body, but now as you're a bit more relaxed, less on edge, you have a look at it, and it is definitely a humanoid figure. Do you want to approach?
The body.
Yep.
Yeah, I said I'd go as far as the corpse. So
Perfect. So, my bad. You make your way to the corpse. Make an investigation check for me, please.
13.
13. You rifle through the equipment. The armour and the shield and the weapon are all tarnished, as if they have been eroded for years. For years and years and years and years. But it doesn't make much sense, because this is the insignia of the familiar inquisitors of the order.
And the insignia hasn't changed recently or anything like that.
No.
Upgraded their branding.
Great.
No, it is an old branding. It hasn't changed in years.
Oh right, okay. Sorry, I thought you said the branding light was on. Right, okay.
No,
Yeah.
no, not at
Cool.
all. The flesh of the creature is almost entirely absent of liquid and fluid. It has been drained and almost mummified in the armour in which it rests. You can see that whatever strength this creature had, it doesn't appear to have fought at all. There's no marks, there's no scuffle or fight marks around the area. What was your investigation check, sorry?
13.
You, with that, notice the discard remains of the fire. You can see that camp had been made, bedroll, equipment. You surmise that probably while this person was asleep, the creature grabbed.
How many bedrolls?
One.
Just one.
Just one. With the investigation check, you find a bedroll. You find a bag with some clothes in it. Much fresher, the clothes, actually. They smell musty, travel worn, but there's no moth holes, there's no age to them. They seem much younger than whatever the damage to this armour was. Perhaps the creature just rotted things that it touched. You're not entirely sure. But you also find something that sticks out, a bag that is resting alongside the bedroll, and the bag takes your attention because it's sort of brown leather bag, very beautifully and ornately stitched and carved. It almost looks like it's got two small eyes stitched into the front of the satchel where it opens. You can see beautiful leather straps have been built into it, so that once was a shoulder bag has now been turned into a backpack, effectively. That's all that seems to be there. You search through the body.
Sorry.
And there's nothing of use that you can find. Everything on this body has been rotted.
No chance of identifying who it was.
You make a medicine check for me. You surmise it will be hard.
Medicine is 10.
A 10? No, unfortunately not. The damage is too severe.
Okay.
Quite right there, Fiona.
Yeah, sorry.
I feel like
I'm...
it's really funny. It's just like, she's throwing a little hint at something and she goes,
Meta game!
I'm going to keep quiet over
Okay.
here.
I'm going to grab the pack.
Yeah.
I just want to look further down the cave.
Okay, the cave itself appears to go about 30-40 feet further and down before it ends in a point. You can see a small stream is starting to flow its way down inside the mountain, but there's no visible hole that you can see. It literally cuts off after about 90 feet from the entrance. It doesn't go any further.
Okay. Then I grab the pack.
Yeah, it feels light.
Okay. Put it on.
Perfect.
And I'm going to return to Blue and Aubrey.
Perfect.
Hey, nifty backpack.
It's an Inquisitor that's in there.
In your backpack.
No, in the cave.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, man.
No, it's from what I can surmise looking at it. He or she was sleeping when that thing
No.
came through.
Would have happened to us.
Nasty way to go.
Yeah.
Hopefully it was as quick and painless as possible.
May Perith watch over him. Or her.
It's very difficult to tell. I want to make a history check for me.
That was the same roll as last time.
It was, wasn't it? 13.
From the cut of the armour, you hazard a guess at male. But
No
it's
boo plates.
not the strongest
That's
of
not,
man.
that's not a thing.
Is the physical bearing have any similarity to the High Inquisitor?
With a 13, difficult to say.
Sure.
The damage is too severe. It looked like nice armour, but it's very difficult to say.
Does it have a pendant like you?
It's the cave ends roughly 90 feet in.
Yeah.
There seems to be a source of fresh water, a stream.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I think
That'll trouble better.
if we
4-star would come again.
No!
if we move the body or do something to,
Do you want to do some sort of...
Ceremony.
Can I ask, is this going to be another thing where we bury it and then unbury it and then ask someone else to... It's not going to be one of those, is it?
Ooh, I may have told her that we buried her accidentally in there.
No, you both were there when I
Did
said...
we both tell you that?
No, I asked and then you both sort of walked away back onto the Athena.
No, we only do that with you.
that was
Special.
Sorry.
no. This is.
It's-
I think this is beyond any fae or god to bring back,
Okay,
and we have a job to do.
we do.
Does he have a pendant? Do you need to collect those?
I'll take it before we leave.
Like Gaze of War?
I was waiting for it.
Dog tag,
Waiting
there we
for
are.
it, yeah.
If there is one that survived, I'll take it before we.
Sure. Okay.
Can we?
Well, we can stay as long as you like.
This seems safe enough now. I think this is possibly our best place to rest.
Yeah.
Should we call it a day?
I'd like to give him some sort of burial before we do.
Well, we can help you with that.
Yeah, we can help you with And I guess we just need to keep an eye out to see if we see any tieflings on the beach, or
Love that album.
or porn film. I don't know.
Oh God.
Sorry.
In the
porn
morning,
show.
Where is this going? Oh, my word.
in the morning, I can send a message to Carmen.
Might be a bit late. Oh, but he seems to know.
I mean, they're the ones who left the beach, presumably.
No, it's a good idea. We'll do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm like, where the
Just-
fuck are you
Just
going?
the one message though this time, and to the point.
Yes.
Concise language.
Yep.
Carefully structured.
We can write it out beforehand.
So what are you all doing in the
So
meantime?
I
We're
think-
still at the entrance of the
I think
cave
we're
for
gonna
now.
try and bury
Yeah.
his friend close
Okay.
I
by.
got my bubble.
Are you gonna help with
Fine.
burying though? Or?
Oh yeah,
Eat-
bubble goes.
Is going to be very difficult because you are on the side of the cliff face, effectively. A mountain made of solid stone. There's no soil per se. Just
Yeah, no, that's fine.
to say.
We could,
Fire.
yeah. I could buy another torch.
Yeah, so I would like to build some sort of, well, not a pyre because we
I
frankly
think
don't.
you'll
have
get
a sort
multi-zone quite easily. I mean, sorry, that's very...
There's not much in the way. You have enough equipment to build a fire and have it overnight, but you don't have a huge supply of wood on you. There is a little bit of wood with the body and possessions that could be burnt, things like bedrolls and things you may
Yeah.
not want to take. There's enough to create a fire.
So we'd make
We'll
a
do
sort of
that.
improvised thing.
Perfect. Inside the cave or outside?
Outside.
Okay.
Okay, fine. Wonderful. You build it up. The fire is lit very quickly, and the body takes to it extremely fast. It combusts almost as if the moisture has just disappeared from this body. Like kindling,
Any
I should
point
say.
would I have sort of done any sort of potential short rest?
Not yet.
No,
Okay.
we're still going to.
Not unless you specifically tell me
No.
you're resting.
Cool.
Building a funeral pyre is probably a bit more active than...
Before setting on fire, though, Theren would look for the order symbol around the neck.
Okay, you didn't find one. Which is strange.
That tells me that someone's already found this body. Someone of my order, most likely, or a scavenger.
They survived the vines. And you said there was only one person at the camp, so like only one bedroll and stuff, so clearly they've come in, avoided the vines to...
Can I have a look at the bag? It might be in there.
Yeah?
Take the bag off my shoulder.
Open it?
Can I tell the bag do I get any feeling of magic off of it
You can make me an Arcana check.
before I spend?
My lord. Sam, you didn't even make it into the bloody thing. It was
Was
a
that?
natural one.
Natural one.
Natural one. Nope. It looks
a
like
bag.
an ordinary bag. To be fair, like you're not entirely sure why Theren's taken it.
This is bag of devouring. I'm going to be pissed. So I'm going to just look at it.
Don't be headed!
You're putting your head.
No, just looking at it.
Okay. It appears to be empty. You can see it is just dark inside. The sort of interior of the leather comes down inside. There's nothing in it.
Wait, there's nothing in it?
Okay. As you do that, you feel your arm go down and down and down and down, and you can see the end of the bag, and your hand is just gone. And it-
What
again.
are you doing?
Sorry, I'm just really tired.
No.
Next session we'll find out what it is.
That's...
Do it again.
That's...
This
Right.
time you can see his entire arm and shoulder just disappears into this bag. There's nothing in it.
Beginning to get it's just natural one. It's just ruined.
Hold on, I want to test a theory.
like one of
Is
those
there like a
houses.
loose rock or something nearby?
Yeah, easily. You could find debris of some kind. Yeah, big
Grab a
rock.
loose rock.
Yep.
Take the bag of blue. Drop it.
It goes.
Like reach in
Yep.
and feel around for the rock.
It's not there.
Tip upside down.
What are you doing?
Tip the bag upside down, like this.
Oh.
Shake it out. Nothing happens. It's empty.
Do I know anything about it?
You can make me an Arcana
with
check.
my
As
trader-
with your trading
Yeah.
merchant-like
I
experience.
didn't want
yes,
to be
you
that
can,
person.
you
Okay.
can.
So with my Arcana,
A natural one.
that's a 10.
A 10. There is something magical and strange about this bag, but it's nothing like you've come
Right.
across before.
Cool.
And has there been any order text that says anything about this?
Magic
Make me a
bags,
history check.
bad.
Would I now catch on?
History 17.
17. You know enough about order material to know that no, this is not standard issue.
Standard issue.
This is different.
Right. This isn't one of ours, so to speak.
Shall I do my thing?
Do you not normally get a magic bag with the order?
No, they
No.
actually give you very little. You remember when we first met?
I did.
Please
Painful.
do.
Yeah.
Short rest, identification in the hut. Yeah?
Can you do both? Hut and identify stuff?
Hut doesn't require me to concentrate on it.
You just have to be in there.
Yep,
I
sure.
think I ask that every
We checked.
time we do
Yeah,
this.
yeah, we checked.
I was like, what else can you do in the hut?
I'll spend 11
So-
minutes creating the hut, 11 minutes looking at the bag.
Okay, perfect. So, inside the what do you call it, cave? Is the casting time on the hut only 1 minute?
No, it's 10. It's 11 minutes. It takes 10 minutes to cast.
But it was because the ritual casting is 10 minutes. So what's the casting of the actual hut?
Casting time 1 minute.
1 minute. Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's actually
There
quicker
you
than I thought. You could do that in combat, maybe.
10 rounds later.
10 rounds.
So
Hey, we're safe. Oh, you're all dead.
You're all
I'm doing this speedily, like.
Blue, can you double?
So
Hey, with
Take
haste.
Blue just in the middle of the cave, just on the
Yeah.
entrance of the cave.
Where do you think, guys?
Further in the cave.
Further in, a little bit in.
Okay, about 10 feet from the entrance.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Grey colour.
The grey colour. From the outside, it looks just. You can't see it. It is totally camouflaged. And you spend some time casting Identify the Pearl.
Oh god, you put it in your mouth? Gross!
That's what you did last time, right? Oh no, that's what the NPC did, don't worry. Ignore me. Ignore me.
Gross!
Good
Yes.
idea.
Ah!
It.
Don't know where that's been.
In his mouth, really.
No, I won't do that.
It is a bag of holding. Yes.
Every party
So-
needs one.
How do we get his rock back?
So, hang on. We'll read the description because then you'll know what the Dungeon Master's Guide does.
Take that, moss. Get a fucking bag out of it.
That was worth it.
Bag
Right.
of holding.
So, the bag has an interior space considerably larger than its outside dimensions, roughly 2 feet in diameter at the mouth and 4 feet deep. It is like a big backpack in our case. The bag can hold up to 500 pounds, not exceeding a volume of 64 cubic feet. It weighs 15 pounds regardless of its contents. Retrieving an item from the bag requires an action. If the bag is overloaded, pierced or torn, it ruptures and is destroyed, and its contents are scattered into the astral plane. Don't do that.
That would suck.
It's a shame I'm going to have to tell you this, but you did identify it. If the bag is turned inside out, its contents spill forth unharmed. But the bag must be put right before it can be used again. If you put someone in there, they can survive for a little bit of time before they suffocate. And important, if you put another bag of holding inside another thing that creates extra dimensional space, it rips open a gate into the astral plane and everything is destroyed. So don't do that.
As in the world ends.
As in,
A
it's
catastrophe
not great.
happens.
You will rip a
That's
hole in
really
space and
what
time.
happened. Parath was irresponsible with the bag of holding.
Whoa, this shit is dangerous. This bag, right?
And I relay the information.
So we could turn it inside out and see what you get your rock back.
Theren's pet rock.
How do we retrieve things normally?
You use an action to retrieve an item. I presume you have to kind of like summon it?
Fine,
There
I
we go.
throw my arm in And I think about the rock.
It appears in your hand.
Throw my arm in, I think about the order necklace. An order necklace.
Pastries!
In your hand is the amulet of an Inquisitor of the Order.
Wow.
And inscribed under the back is Inquisitor Quintus.
Ooh. Quintus.
Chocolate. Beer.
You know in passing.
Wine.
He is a member of the Order, an Inquisitor. He is a sort of moderate rank. He would have been a sort of armoured and capable unit sent on this mission with Augustus to help him. But he is not of the rank of independence. He's the rank you will progress to should you survive your training, but he's not a person of importance and not the sort of person who should have a bag of holding.
Did I know him?
You would have known him in passing. Nobody of importance to you.
If I turn it inside out, we can see everything that's in here.
Let's do it. There might be more information.
It's your order, though. I don't want to invade privacy.
No, yeah, no.
Okay.
Do
Let's
it.
do it.
Okay.
Jesus.
It is a cacophony of noise as the bag
In the small huts.
empties out. There are multiple things
Oh my god.
Holy sausage.
fall out. You see, amongst other things, an arcane focus, what appears to be a beautifully wrought ring with a ruby in it. You see a spell scroll clattered to the ground. You see... So hang on, let's just get this right. So you've got this. You see about just like books and books and books and scrolls all fall up. Just probably 25, 30, 35 books just all under a huge pile on the floor, as well as writing equipment, pens, scrolls, inks, everything somebody would need to write and study huge amounts of manuscripts, including a spellbook of some kind. You see 4 potions drop out of different colours. One green, you can see one grey, one a familiar colour that you recognise as being a potion of hill giant strength, which you've had before.
We've not used that one.
I've still got
You've
it.
still got it.
Now you have a second. And another one that's a yellow, but it seems to change colour very erratically. On closer inspection, the books and the potions appear to be all linked in a weird way. The books are all about amateur spellcasting, a guide to spellcasting, a guide to potion making. You can see a lot of equipment falls out of the bag as well. Potion kit, brewing equipment, mortar, pestles, ingredients, herbs, all kinds of things fall out. Just an unorganised scatter as the bag is emptied onto the floor.
Unceremoniously.
Yeah. As well as you see about 180 gold pieces also falls out of the bag.
Wow.
Whoa!
Was this guy, you knew him? Or knew him in passing?
The last thing that falls out, I should say,
Sorry.
amongst, there's other pieces of equipment. You can see food, rations, bags, all kinds of equipment that you would need to explore by yourself. But a diary falls out as well.
Did you know this guy? Was he a spellcaster?
We'd spoken a few times.
Make a history check if you want.
Sure.
With advantage, because it's on order. I'll let you know.
First one is 16 plus, if I could find... Where's H?
History.
18. 18.
Yeah.
18. From what you remember, no, he's not a spellcaster. It's not banned, but it is certainly frowned upon for Inquisitors to practice arcane spellcasting, because they should be focused on becoming better fighters and following Perith.
It's not our way to focus on the arcane.
Do you think this is his? All this?
I don't. It could have already been here, or it could have been something he appropriated.
Yeah, you guys do like to do that.
I won't argue with you.
No. Well,
That's your thing.
I don't know how you feel, Blue, but this is yours, really. It's you found with Order Body. We have no claim to it. Do you want it?
As far as I'm concerned, it's for us to use.
I was
That'd
more
be
meaning.
helpful.
I was more meaning you could have the bag. I assumed the potions and stuff we could share in between us.
I'll carry the bag.
The money can go towards your friend.
No, we should.
No.
No.
So before we get too much further,
sorry.
I'm going to say who's holding what. You can put it all in the bag
I
I'm
was saying,
holding.
put it back all in the bag.
Wonderful.
Should we
We'll
put all
keep-
the books back in and then I can identify some of this?
I can identify some of the other stuff.
Yeah, so the books go back in,
Bloop.
the kit.
All the potions.
Unless anyone literally puts their hand in the air and go, oh, we'll have that.
I think anything bar the potions.
Yeah.
And
Potions, focus, spell scroll,
you want a spell scroll to identify, right?
and the spell book I will keep
Yeah, keep that for
and look at.
Keep those for Drazda.
And Theren's going to drop his explorer pack in there and wear the new one around his
Can
back.
Perfect.
I'll pick up the diary. And I guess.
Yeah. See what it says.
Yeah.
Can I identify things?
What would you like to identify?
Do you want to look at the diary first?
I'll start.
I see. Are
making-
you setting up camp here?
I'm
for the
saying I'm
event?
gonna start making
Yeah.
campfire where these do.
Right.
do
So
stuff.
Aubrey, you
I'll go from
begin to make a perimeter. You begin to make
I'll
sure
keep
that
first watch and stuff like
Perfect.
that. Yeah.
Wonderful.
These guys are doing stuff.
the bubble is still there. Blue, you can't leave, so you have to stay within the bubble.
Oh no.
Theren is going to go to the burning body and give it some soul blast rites.
Okay. Perfect. You make a religion check.
Also, another very stupid question. I'm guessing if I create a fire in the bubble, the smoke can't get out. So ideally we should put the fire outside the bubble.
It's warm in the bubble.
Do we need a fire then?
It's comfortable.
I sit around doing nothing. I'll be watching. Take a first watch basically.
Unnatural 20.
A natural 20. You watch as Theren performs a very religious but very respectful ceremony, puts the body to rites. There are moments where divine energy seems to flow from him very briefly, and the flames that envelop the body for a second glow white as there seems to be some sort of flash of recognition, and the body disappears into ash and floats into the sky. You can see the wind take it.
I walk into the bubble, sit down, don't say anything, and just open the diary.
Okay. Can you make a dexterity saving throw for me, please?
What?
14?
14. Okay.
Don't know how to look.
Yeah.
Go to open the book, and like a sponge-like reflex, the book resists you. It opens briefly. There's a glimpse of writing inside, but there's a crackling of electricity that shoots down your arm. You drop it just in time as it snaps back shut as if it had a spring on it. You take half of that, 4 points of lightning damage as it crackles up your arm and drops to the floor, just still smoking slightly.
Health's sake!
Nothing safe!
What the what? Shall I have a look at that thing first too?
Please do.
Okay, I'll do that one first. And by the way, we can have a fire in here if you want it to be more hot.
Okay.
So you spend some time identifying it.
I don't think you're supposed to chew it.
Oops.
The book
Helps.
is not magical.
Oh. Yeah, you don't.
The identify spell does not pick anything up. You make an Arcana check.
That would be 11.
11.
The book isn't magical,
Right.
but what happened to you was definitely weird.
Is there a chance that it could have been enchanted in some way? Without it being magical itself?
I'm not very good at that stuff. Drazda would know.
Is there a chance that it could...
You don't pick anything up from your identify spell.
When I opened the book, did the lightning fire out at me or did it go up my arms?
Up your arms.
Shit.
Can I say stand back, use the handle of my great axe to try and flick the book open?
Okay, you do. Make a dexterity check for me.
Sweet.
I mean, I've got resistance to lightning.
Dexterity check.
No, it's Aubrey. She's good at everything.
Yes, this is a 20.
20. You very carefully with your axe flick it open, and the cover of the book flips open. As you can see, a small sort of smoke disappear off from the previous effects of Theren opening it, but there appears to be nothing happening.
No need to thank me. Books are the worst monsters.
Knowledge. It kills more than any bugbear.
I take a look at the book.
Perfect. You pick the book up. There's nothing on it. It appears that you might have been trapped.
It's done deliberately. I love it.
And you quickly find out why. It appears to be a diary, specifically the diary of Inquisitor Quintus. The diary starts out quite mundane. The first few pages, and it takes you some time to go through it over the course of the evening, but over the first sort of 10-20 pages, it tells a story of regimented and familiar life within the Order.
The good old days.
It tells of his aspirations, his frustrations with more senior and junior members. There is a heart-dropping moment when your name is mentioned briefly in a passing comment about particularly unable and frustrating class.
Little bitch.
You may notice that your name is brought up alongside Kazaki's as two students who think that they're better than they are, and gripes about that. But otherwise, it tells a very familiar story until he takes a trip. And I just want to triple check the destination.
Get the notes out.
Out comes the folder.
So, maybe
Are we the bad guys?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
The bad guy folder.
So he
Day 31.
goes on an expedition, or part of the Order's overseas party, to their settlement on Umbuska, where he finds the book. It refers to as the book in various places. Over the course of the next few pages, it becomes quite clear that the book he references is the other book, the spell book, that he has found. He has found some sort of magical text, and he knows that he should turn it in. He doesn't feel like he wants to, though. He's gripes and frustrations with Augustus, the man he's just been put on station with. He wants to be promoted, but nobody understands his potential. They see only his failings. He decides that it would be in Perith's interest for him to learn the enemy and to learn the book, to see if he can pick up the spells in the book. And over the next sort of 5-6 pages, you read a lot of frustration, secreted arcane practicings. He starts to squirrel away books, he starts to squirrel away scrolls that he finds on Umbuska. There seems to be various mentions of places, libraries, ruins that have been liberated by the Order. He starts to squirrel away bits and pieces. And then as it starts, there's a page about near the middle of the book where he talks about a breakthrough of some kind. He's ecstatic, he's happy. And then, almost like that, the book switches from common into a style of rune patterning that you do not recognise.
I hold the page with the rune patterning up to these two. Like, does anyone recognise this?
Nope.
Probably not.
Nope, sorry.
No, none of you recognise it.
No.
You could all make a straight intelligence check for me if you want.
Okay.
You might know something, Theren.
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
14.
7.
It is page upon page of these just strange runes, and you don't know what they are. It doesn't recognise. It's not Dwarven. It's not
Gnomish.
Gnomish. Any other sort of script based on the sort of deep scripts that you know. It doesn't appear to be anything like that. Theren, you're the one that spots the key. some sort of key. You can't make any sense of it whatsoever, but it leads you to twig that this is some sort of cipher. You don't think you have whatever code it takes to crack the cipher, but it would take a lot of work to try and attempt to brute force it in, but it is a ciphered book. It seems like he has developed some sort of secret code of writing to effectively hide his writings after that point.
Right.
And roughly how many entries are there in this?
About half the book again.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah.
Can we work out how long ago this change happened? Like, was it 6 months ago or?
Thursday the 14th.
Yeah. First day of
Yes, you
winter.
can. It was. Let us see. It
the
would have
calendar
been. So not the current year that you were in, but the year before.
That's
Spring 5th is the last entry in the book.
in English, in common. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before it switches.
I'm not sure that this Inquisitor... I don't... Either he came here alone, which is unlikely, or he was keeping this a secret from everyone else. That spell book, I think we should avoid it. It sounds like it was manipulating his mind in some way. The entries, they become less coherent, more frustrated.
Well, I agree we shouldn't give it to Drowster. Just what my plan was. So, whoops.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Can you
He's got it.
see if you know anything about the spell book?
I wouldn't risk it.
You can just touch the cover, see if it itself is magical.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to touch it to put it back in the bag anyway. Unless we do it with like axes and swords and like
Still currently on the floor, unless you would have picked it up to put it back in.
I love this, the camera shot of us all three of us looking suspiciously at a book on the floor.
Dun, dun, dun. Cave moss, fine. Book. Fuck that.
Fuck that.
Well, yeah, cave moss is cave moss. This might be the Necronomicon.
True, might be.
what does it look like?
Does it just look
Does it
It
look like the
looks
Necronomicon?
like a bound black tome with grey bindings on the side. Big, thick, wooden bindings to it. What's the cover to it? With pages in between, thick pages.
It's not human skin.
Does it look old?
Make a history check.
I never thought I'd be relieved to know something's not made of human skin.
10.
It looks, yeah, it looks old.
God, old. Yeah.
Except humans.
That, yes.
What do you think? I could try and identify.
It's up to you. You'd be the one taking the risk. Don't feel you have to.
Let's not do it tonight.
Okay.
But we've got other. We have to get out.
Yeah.
We have to.
Shall I have a
We've
look
got
at the
one
other
problem at a
stuff?
time. I just feel
Yes, let's have a look at the other things and
Leave
let's...
the spell for now.
call it a day.
The spell book.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
ring.
as the sun sets, then you are in this cave. It begins to get very chilly. So, Aubrey, you are taking
I'll
first
take
watch.
first watch. Yeah.
Theren, you are reading through the diary.
Yeah, take
And
second.
second watch. And Blue, you start to identify things. Now, you can identify about 6 things before you need to think about getting some sleep if you want to stick with the shift pattern.
I have 5 things to identify.
Okay. Theren, again, you get
Screw
about
that
that through the
spell
book before, again, you need to think about sleeping as well.
That's fine, yeah.
Perfect. So, Theren, you make your way to bed. Blue, what are you identifying?
First, ring with ruby.
Ring of Ruby. It gives a faint arcane presence, but nothing magical in itself. It is an arcane focus.
Just to focus. Cool.
Yes.
Spell scroll.
The spell scroll. You look inside, and with your identification, you learn that it is a 2nd level spell scroll. A spell called Shatter.
Flipping hell.
Not good.
It's pretty nice.
It's just like over there.
It shatters things.
Oh, cool.
Oh, sorry. Like, it's very effective on things like glass and crystal, from what I can tell. But
And people.
Green potion.
The green potion is a potion of animal friendship.
This is so amazing.
Really good.
The grey potion, please.
The grey
Carol?
potion is a potion of resistance.
What?
And the yellow potion, Rachel.
Is a potion of growth.
Excellent. Thank you, Rachel.
Try do them all
Okay, your
down.
time starts now.
One for
So-
our American viewers. Sorry,
Tenetimo.
It is about 9 o'clock. There's a couple of hours of night time. Theren and Blue at this point have both drifted off their sleeping equipment out. Aubrey, you have taken watch. You can see the stars beginning to rise on the horizon of what is going to be a cold night. Theren, you are woken up very quickly.
Yay!
Theren! In your head, ringing very loudly.
Oh no.
Have the three of you found somewhere to sleep yet? If so, say yes and think very carefully about where you are.
Spells can't get in my hut.
As Camian's ringing just very loudly echoes in your head. Reply, please. And then there's a connection that sort of is disappeared but lingering in your head.
Yes. And I think very clearly about where we are.
Perfect. So,
Crush fire
there is
pagoda.
about 2 to 3 minutes
Oh,
before.
as soon as I do that, I kind of go, we're about to have company.
What?
No,
Oh,
it's them.
Shove everything back in the thing.
Oh,
The people we're supposed to be looking after.
yes.
Very good idea, Sleepy
Karen,
Blue.
yeah. Wait, what about the spellbook?
Can you scoop it up with your axe?
I use my shield as a sort of
We just
Tray.
do not want to touch it.
Okay, just scoop
Someone
it
just
up.
hold open the bag and I'll...
Falls into the bag.
Oh my god.
All evidence of whatever was in this bag is now back in. So have you all allocated out what are you holding onto everything for now, and then you'll allocate it later? Or is that-
I was thinking you
The
had
bag,
everything
the
in
bag,
there
the
for now.
bag.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Sort of, yeah.
Perfect. What we'll do is we're gonna keep from now on. We'll have a piece of paper that has the bag of holding on it, and we'll remember some of the bag of
Give
holding.
that
Yeah,
to me and...
Yeah. I think this
So,
makes sense for you.
I'll let you guys organise that between the three of you. So, after about 2 minutes, there is a sort of ripping noise in space behind you as again a crack opens and the box pushes forward into the back of the cave and crunches in as Carmian sort of follows out of his rift. Just you can see his hand still burning with the black energy, sort of looks around, just the crack behind. He looks around and goes, "Right, oh, there you are. Oh, you're all in the bubble. Like, oh, fantastic. I really hope you do better. Honestly, it's a cave in the side of the mountain. This is
Where have you guys been?
we've been hiding, haven't we? I'm waiting for you to signal back with the fact that you'd found somewhere to stay."
Carmian, I have one very important question for you, if I may.
Yes.
How in the name of all that's holy were we supposed to signal back when you disappeared?
Well, he could have talked to us.
We have been battling flabby giants all day. No, you will be quiet while I am speaking. I am very tired, I am very angry,
Theren,
and I will not be
Theren.
spoken...
Theren,
Make an intimidation check.
service with a smile.
No,
Oh no!
it's a 13.
How would you like to be destroyed?
He just sort of gives you a look and says, "I will not be spoken to like that." Turns his back, and you can see a familiar sort of flames go up his arm again as he picks the box up and levitates. So looks around behind him, sees the back of the cave, sort of makes his way, pushes the box as far into the back of the cave as he can, crunches it down. "Well, I guess this will have to do." Sort of gets his bag off, and you can see him just sort of fiddling around with a few things. And well, good night, I guess. Just don't let anything kill us, please. We'd quite like to continue our investigation in the morning.
Before you...
Yes.
Perhaps.
Count to 10.
What shall we do from now on?
Well, your jobs. You've paid to look after us, keep us safe. We've got a good base of operations here. As begrudging as this cave is, at least we are afforded quite the view of the island. Lady Riverwall will take some time to evaluate the situation from here, and our next course of action will be decided. But until then, keep us safe and guard us, please.
Yes, well, about that, you know my bubble?
Yes?
Well, it's 10-foot radius from me. Would that include the pagoda and ourselves, do you think? What do I think?
No. Lady Riverwall would not. She'd not want that. She twigs immediately where you're going with us.
No, she's not coming out of the pagoda, but if it keeps the whole of the pagoda and us
No,
in,
she wouldn't want that.
she wouldn't want to be protected.
No.
from whatever.
She trusts her care to me, and we shall do that ourselves.
Okay.
He sort of stands there for a second, and you can see him sort of thinking about something, and he starts to cast arcane spells in the corner. Just leave it to me; it'll be fine.
Right.
Sort of pulls it, and after 11 minutes, another bubble you can see appears containing the pagoda. Carmion in the end of the cave, sheeted to match in identically with the rock behind it. And you just see him at the last moment as the bubble forms go, just don't let anything kill us in the night. And it covers.
He can do it too.
Yes, but he said don't let anything kill us, so he clearly has no idea how that spell works.
I mean, I think he's just trying to be bossy.
I'm tired.
Aubrey and I get that.
Leave me out of this.
Okay,
I want to go to sleep.
yeah, let's have a
So,
sleep.
head back.
So
Have
we
a
shall
rest.
continue with the perception checks, please. Aubrey, you shift first.
I'm going to shift. And there's a 15.
15. Okay.
1 5.
Your watch disappears without incident. The late night starts to crawl in. You can feel that familiar sleepiness start to crawl over until Theren comes to wake you up. You pass over.
I look at the letter, I don't open it, and then I leave it, and then I go back.
Okay. Perfect.
So
Fair
much
enough.
conflict.
Make a
So conflicted.
perception check, please.
11.
Rolled
11.
so many 9s tonight.
I know,
Okay.
right?
Yeah. No,
Just below average. It's terrible, isn't it?
terrible.
You spend your watch looking out. It's a cold night. The wind blows, the stars every now and then covered by clouds, but it is mostly a clear night, and the snow starts to slowly drift down about 2-3 in the morning until about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock before Blue is woken up to relieve you of your shift. And Blue, a perception check, please.
And I've got one more bardic inspiration left, so I'm going to use that and try and make this a good one.
Okay. What I would say is that in order for a long rest to work, you can't cast spells or use active
Yeah.
skills in that way.
Makes
So
sense. Makes sense.
you can use bardic inspiration, but you would
It would
interrupt
no
the
longer be
long rest.
Gotcha. That is a good spell.
Still rolling a d8.
I am.
No one would know. It's alright. It's
So
okay.
15.
15. Okay. Fantastic. Nothing happens. The morning comes. I would like you all to make survival checks, please, because this is wild camping. And in my campaigns, if you are not staying somewhere comfortable, you have to make a survival check to see how well you rest.
Oh my god!
Natural 20.
Natural
That's
Funny
really
enough.
not 20 of tonight. Fucking hell.
Blue?
Ooh.
Survival. 10.
10. And Aubrey?
Survival. 19.
19. Okay, and who's proficient in survival, out of curiosity?
Not I.
No.
Nobody. Fantastic.
I mean,
So,
jack of all trades.
yeah, that's true. The two of you, you very soundly sleep. You have a long rest. You get all your hit points back,
Right.
and you get 2 hit dice back if you have spent them. Blue. You have a torrid night. It is uncomfortable. It is not cold, but just you can hear the wind howling from outside. Everything you hear is a noise, is danger. You wake up 3-4 times in the night thinking the moss is attacking you again. Like night scares, night terrors. It is not
is better than mine.
a comfortable rest. So, you get 2 hit dice back,
Okay.
but you don't get any health back,
Ooh.
unfortunately.
No, fuck.
That's the worst way round that could have been.
I'm very sorry. But I'll let you spend 1 health dice now to get your Song of Rest if you'd like.
Ooh. Yes, I will do that.
So like,
But it does count as one you're spending.
Yeah. But this isn't one of my 2 short rests.
No. This is sort of a
oh,
That's
whoa!
good.
very good.
Wow!
So
A 12.
plus your constitution, right?
And Blue does look
It's
noticeably dishevelled in the
Yeah.
morning when you wake up. He's clearly not appreciated the morning. So, Carmian in the morning will poke his head out of the orb and just like, look, I'm sorry if I was a bit snappy last night. This whole travelling thing, it's not fantastic with me.
I'm sorry. It was a long day.
It's fine. You can see he's just sort of got his head out of the bubble when he says this. He's careful not to leave because otherwise the bubble would be compromised. So he sort of holds it up. I'm very sorry. Lady Riverwall, she has retrieved her equipment. She is looking through the books and scrolls that she has brought with us. We are investigating a lead that we think we know where this castle is on the mountain. But having scouted around yesterday whilst we were waiting for you, we have our reference points now. It may take a little time, but we're going to attempt to effectively orientate ourselves at the island and pick a direction that we are going to go to next. There are a few things that I can do to speed that process up, namely divination magic of various kinds, but in order for me to have an undisturbed place of work, I would kindly request that the 3 of you disappear for the day to not disturb me, please. There are creatures on this island. I am worried that they are going to come and attack us at any point, so please can you go and eliminate what you can. That would be splendid.
Carmian, not to imply that you're incapable of doing your job, but I was flying around this island yesterday and I saw no castle.
Well, that's why nobody else has come to this island and found the castle. I don't want to divulge too much. This is sensitive information. We paid a lot of money for. You'll understand that trade secrets are expensive in Yibret, and we need to guard ours carefully. But feel reassured, if we find this castle, then you'll be the first people to go, along with the 2 of us.
Cool.
Is there anything else you require of us?
Food.
No, food is fine. We've
I've got rations.
got plenty of supplies. Thank
Okay.
you very much. I assume the 3 of you can survive on what you've got?
Yes.
Yes. Did you come across the flabby things?
No, we saw one running after you.
Yeah. Any? No. Yeah, great. Yeah.
No, we plan on just staying out the way.
Well, that's smart.
Yes.
How did you stay out of the way?
Yeah.
I presume some sort of spell of invisibility.
No, I created one of these bubbles.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically what we did.
But we didn't see them. How did we do that? Put in some bushes.
Sorry.
You didn't particularly look.
No.
And
true.
with Aubrey's passive
I
perception,
was too busy
she
running.
didn't see them.
I didn't see him.
Uh,
I was too busy running.
it's a good
So
one,
you
isn't
don't
it?
know if they're telling the truth or not.
Right.
Oh.
You have no evidence to back that up either way.
Should we go hunting flabby things? Or
Well,
should
we could go see if we can find more evidence of the order.
Well, whatever you're going to do, that's absolutely fine, but I will request a bit of silence. I'd like to be able to drop the bubble and cast our spells without too much interruption. And please, if you are planning on coming back and having a look around or a spy...
We'll warn you.
No, please
No.
don't. Another person entering the cave with the spell casting will cause the spell to fail, and I'm going to have to start all over again, and the components are very expensive. Please.
If we need you, we shall stand outside of the cave and yell.
Don't come back until summoned.
Summoned.
What about when night falls and we need to stay?
Oh, it'll be before that. It's fine.
Can I send you a sending spell? Would that disrupt your
God,
concentration?
no. Emergencies only.
Gotcha.
I think our best option is to go and hunt down these things. The danger is the pressing problem.
Are you sure you don't want to go find out? See if we can find more of the order?
Odds are, if we find more, you said you saw a camp with a few of them.
The flap giants, yeah, but there was 5 there.
We don't know how many will be there now.
They were asleep, really. They were sort of lazing about, so I assume it's maybe more active at night. I assume, I don't know.
We'll take a look anyway.
Sure.
It looks like from the 2 that we fought already that the Order did try to fight back, so if we find the giants, we might find some clues to where the other Order members may be.
We could look in those other caves you mentioned.
That is also.
But they're higher up. This is the thing. Do we go down to the giants, or do we go higher up the cave?
By this point, after with all the talking,
Sorry,
Carmian
go on,
has
should
got
we-
bored and he's gone. He's retreated back in his
we'll
field.
be outside of the cave.
Yeah, I think we'll be doing
we
this as
we
we're
just go,
walking out
what
the
do we
cave.
do now, lads?
I come in.
As you stand on the outside of the cave. So, which direction will we be heading? Up or down or left or right?
Flip a coin?
I
No.
believe that the giants are the bigger danger than caves we haven't explored.
We are going to have to deal with them eventually.
Yes, and if one of them stumbles across this place, especially while Carmian is in there casting his spell,
So do we lure one out from
We-
the thing, or do we?
yes, that we
One
fighting
by
4 of them, we won't survive. But if we can do them individually, one at a time, divide and eradicate.
I'm sure we can talk this as we go down the mountain. Then, sorry, I just,
Yeah.
I
Let's
don't,
set up.
yeah,
Dum-de-dum.
yeah. Last words. This is a bad idea.
Perfect. So, which way are you going?
Down.
Down.
Dum,
Okay,
dum.
you start to descend down the mountain. You make a perception check for me, everybody, as you start to descend to see if you can see anything from your lofty positions.
17.
I don't know how you roll, Sam.
12.
12.
Unnatural 20.
Unnatural.
Oh no, I tell a
20.
lie. That's 21. I keep forgetting to add that stone.
Okay.
I see you forgetting.
You see time immemorial.
I say, this is a really bad idea, for I see the future, and we've gone down the mountain.
Well, we got all my cool spells back now, so I can make you invisible, protect you from
Make
aberrations,
someone fly.
make you fly, give you cool skin.
Yeah, you're a very useful guy. So, you start to make your way down the
It's
mountain.
really
Who got the
squishy.
highest perception check out of all of you?
21.
21. So, you are looking around, and there is movement towards right at the base. You can see one of the creatures has made its way to the beach and is slowly panning through the waves towards the edge of the beach. It's, from this distance, you can see the familiar flabby creature as it making its way slowly round to where the village is, but its feet in the sea.
I see, so it's not
Yeah.
coming
Making its
into
way
the sea or
from the
coming out of
boulder
it.
field and is now sort of making its way slowly across the base of this mountain, but it's like 800 feet below. It is a long way down.
Okay, cool. Let's spot. I can tell these guys I spot one.
Any others?
Not that I can see. It's making its way towards where the order buildings were. Can I see the ship at all?
With the 21? You can, yes. It's
Still
about
there.
a kilometre offshore, parked by some rocks. You can see it's sort of hidden itself behind, but is
Yeah.
otherwise very much exposed
yeah.
at sea. Yeah, exactly. You can see the sails are up but not primed. They're ready to go if needed, but there's no slack in
No.
the sails.
No.
Looks like the anchor is down.
It's good to know.
If there's just one, then good an opportunity as any.
Yeah.
Tally ho!
Yeah. I was just wondering if maybe we should call for backup. Get the captain with us, perhaps.
They weren't.
I know, but I just wondered, like, again, I don't know, send them.
Are you having this conversation as you make your way down? Slow it down. Yeah.
It's a good idea.
Well, maybe we should check in on them, perhaps.
About 10 minutes
Nope.
into your journey,
Not a chance.
Theren, a thought interrupts your head. Theren, sorry, breakthrough, this side. Can the three of you come back, please?
Change of plans. He needs us
Going
again.
up?
Yes, back up. Can you hear me if I just talk normally? Carmian?
If it's like my spell, you gotta speak back, but he can't then speak to you again.
Carmian, I don't know if you can hear me.
We'll start walking up.
We are walking up.
Keep going.
See you soon.
Much love.
Bye.
Blue Aubrey Theren.
You need
Good.
bat. There you
Never
go.
passing.
Bat.
Or tap.
You make your way back up to the cave. It is much harder going back up, but you know the path. You can see the bubble has gone. The pagoda stands at the back of the cave's sort of at a slightly jaunty angle as it's kind of resting against the rock, but is still closed. You can see a sort of faint steam coming out of the pagoda. As you come into the cave, there's a waft of chamomile, fragrant sort of teas sort of coming out of it.
Cardigan loves his sense.
Carmian is sat in the middle of the cave. You can see he's just sort of like slightly glazed expression on his head, and he sort of looks up into you. Comes, we've made a breakthrough. It's we can't believe we didn't think of it before.
Well, that was quick. Go on.
We can't see it because it's not here, but it is here. But it's not here. Do you see where I'm going with this?
I see that you're just saying the same thing over and over again. Perhaps you could be a bit more specific.
So, let me try and put this in a way that you can understand.
Careful. I hold Theren back a bit. He reaches forward.
I was using some divination just now, and I looked through it out of the mountain, and I could see the castle at the base of the mountain.
What?
It's under the water.
Oh.
Cool.
But we can't get to it while it's underwater. So we need to get to it a different way. It's fantastic. I can't believe we didn't think of this before. Look, come, and sort of pulls you closer to him. Look,
Don't know how I feel about that.
there's a way that we can do this, but we all need to travel together. Yes? None of this reassuring. You're being paid, correct? Yes?
Yes.
By the adventurers.
I would simply like to know what it is you intend to do.
Yes, before we agree to it.
We are going to travel. Well, not really. We'll still be here. But we're going to travel.
As in, our bodies will remain here, but our souls will leave.
No. Look, I don't want to... It's very complicated to explain, but it's very easy to show. So if I just show you, it will be much easier.
Can I make an insight check on him?
Yes, you can.
Thank you.
Make an inside check on him.
14.
14.
Yeah.
You can see right now already he's starting to do... He's sort of distractively flicking through books of like his spell book. You can see just sort of passing through pages. He's got various arcane trinkets. He's sort of flinging in his hand. He occasionally looks at you. He looks distracted. But it's difficult to pinpoint why.
Do I believe that he's being honest when he says that he could take us all there?
It's difficult to say. You don't know whether it's... You don't know what he's talking about. is the
Yeah, I don't know what
problem.
he's talking about. That's
You
fine.
believe that he is distracted by something.
Okay.
He look like I understand the terms of the engagement with that you were going to escort myself and Lady Riverwood and then take us back to Yibrid.
Riverwall.
Yes,
Riverwall.
good. I like Riverwood. Riverwall. You were going to take us back to Yibrid, correct?
Yep.
Fantastic. Yes. Now, myself and Lady Riverwood, we are both going...
Riverwall.
Riverwall. Damn it, Riverwall.
You're so distracted.
Riverwall The two of us will be travelling as well. So the three of you, all I'm asking is that you fulfill your terms of engagement and escort us. I will make it better for you. If you don't trust me for whatever reason, whatever we find in the castle, apart from what we are looking for, you can keep. It's no interest to us. We're looking for a very specific thing. If we find it, the rest is yours.
Can you guarantee our safety to return?
Oh God, no. No, God, no. But this is
Okay.
why we're paying you.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
glad
kind of
I
right.
knew. I'm glad I asked.
No, you.
Will our physical bodies, yes or no, remain at this location?
No.
Fair. All right.
As your Aubrey, Theren, Blue and Co. Protection Organisation company,
We're not calling ourselves that.
Okay, we need to know all about potential dangers that may approach us, including objects that we seek. Now, I know previously you've kept it very secret about this, but it may pertain to something we need to know in order to provide our contract with you.
Make a persuasion check.
What were those words?
I can tell what you're trying to do. I'll give it a go.
So that's unnatural 20.
What?
Unnatural 20.
You rolled a 9.
Okay.
I get plus 11 to restoration.
He's just, okay,
This is so
okay, right. Look, I'm trying to concentrate on something and talk to you at the same time. Look, I need to cast a fairly complicated spell for this to work. If it's going to shut you up, then
It will.
the castle holds an artifact. The artifact is worth a lot of gold. Lady Riverwall would like the artifact because she is rich, but she is not that rich. If we obtain the artifact from under the sea, wherever it's being held, we will be very wealthy. And if this artifact is where we think it is, and no, as much as you are persuasive, I am not telling you what the artifact is, because if you knew, that would be a very big flaw in our business model here. We paid a lot of gold to be here right now on what some would say was a fool's errand. But if we are correct, there are other things in this castle, because there probably is, if there's an artifact there, it'll be treasure of some kind, then you may help yourselves to it.
That is very helpful for our security programming. Thank you.
You really are the face of the group, aren't you?
I don't know what I'm doing.
Now, the spell itself will require us to transport ourselves. It will feel strange. Allow yourselves to be transported, and nothing bad will happen. Feel like you're going to resist it and you may get caught halfway. It's difficult to say what would happen, but just go with it.
So, consent to all of the above.
On the dotted line, please.
Okay.
He holds out his hand very... He goes to try and shake and then thinks better of it. And look, just...
Yeah. What do we need to do?
Okay.
So pose.
So, and he gathers you all into the middle of the room. Yeah, gets you all to hold hands, sort of with him.
Oh no.
And there's sort of a good few moments where he seems to chant to himself some words, some very strange words you don't quite understand. But Blue, you recognise them as being arcane in nature, and you notice a build-up of energy and a powerful build-up of energy, spellcasting like you have never felt before, as Carmian gets out a small metal rod of a deep black obsidian. And there's a moment, Blue, where with your spellcasting, you go, this is more spellcasting than I thought, but before you can react, and the ringing just, it envelops the three of you. It just, you can't, it can't break it. It's just there and there and there and there, and you all feel your bodies lurch. It is a horrible dropping sensation.
Just be
Your
okay
very
with it.
core is just dropped through the floor, but you don't fall. And and suddenly you're there. You let go of each other's hands. You sort of fall over, and you look into the cave. The same cave as before, but greyer, darker, muted in colours, a darkness about it, a chill in the air. As you look towards Carmian, he looks at the three of you, somehow 30 feet away. There's a big grin on his face and goes, "Good luck."
Oh, you
Ding!
fucker.
And disappears.
You fucker.
What?
And that's where we'll end it for today. What a great place to end it.
What?
So, thank you very much for watching.
What?
We'll pick this
Does
up
our
next
heads
time.
hurt? Do we not explode from the pressure?
What?
Are we dead?
Oh,
Do we just fight the garden for nothing?
No. No, you've established a very safe cave. You expedited things very nicely. You did a very good job. You fought giants. The cave, that moss lurker was a horrible creature, and once you got the hang of it, you knew what you were doing. It's all tactics.
I don't think we're on Xerieos anymore.
What a great cliffhanger to leave it on. So, thank you very much, everybody, and we shall pick this up next time.
Great work, Ryan. That's amazing.
See you
That's
later.
great.